is swung on and hit in the air to right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Blaze Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Drew Ludbauer, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Come on, steps in the back for one out, throws to first, it is in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Do it after!
A high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. T.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first year covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Darren Zaslow.
It's Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series here tonight as the Newport Gulls host the Ocean State Waves here at Cardines Field at 6:35 p.m. Darren Zaslow with you here field level. Newport looking to record back-to-back victories for the first time this season, coming off a 20-3 win over the Valley Blue Sox on Monday. Newport had 22 hits in that ball game. They were led by Andrew Dashbach, who went 4 for 6 with 4 runs scored and 4 RBI. Ocean State, on the other hand, they are trying to win once again here against Newport, coming off a 14-1 win over Danbury last night. Ocean State brings in the best pitching staff in the NECBL with a 2.58 ERA. Here at the ballpark, it is Salve Regina night. 250 free Newport Gulls t-shirts are being given out courtesy of Chris Electric. Newport is 5-11. Ocean State is 11-3. It's Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series here tonight. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Shannon O'Connell here with Ty Duvall, a catcher from Vanderbilt, for this week's Ask a Goal. Now, Ask a Goal is our weekly segment where we select a player and fans submit questions. So, Ty, these are the questions that were submitted for you.
Okay.
So, first things first, you have an all-blue bat. Do you think that helps you behind the plate?
Behind the plate?
At the plate.
Okay, at the plate. I don't know. It looks kind of cool. Feels good in my hand. The saying's like, if you look good, you feel good. So bat looks good, so I guess it's working for me.
All right, sounds good. So Burger King or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Why?
How do I know? Just a big McDonald's fan.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm kind of an ice cream connoisseur, so I like anything from Cold Stone.
Okay. So you've been in Newport a couple weeks now. What's your favorite thing to do here?
I like to go to the beach, definitely.
Which beaches have you been to, / which one's your favorite?
Second beach is my favorite for sure. That's the only one I've been to.
Okay. So what do you typically order at Chipotle?
Typically I go with a bowl, white rice, black beans, because it's supposed to be healthy. I go half chicken, half steak, and then hot cheese and guacamole.
So if you had to be stuck on an island with one of your teammates here from the Gulls, who would you choose and why?
Well, I think the last person I would take is probably Drake Fellows, and the second last person I would take is Reed Anderson. But if I had to pick one person, I would say probably Liam O'Regan, because he's pretty strong, and I bet he could do something pretty cool.
Okay. So you guys were supposed to have a doubleheader yesterday, but it was actually rained out. What did you do with your day instead?
I went and worked out, ate pizza, and took a nap, and then watched the College World Series.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks. Have a good game.
Thank you.
The pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm here with left-handed pitcher Eric Miller. Eric picked up the big win on Monday, getting a 20-3 win. You've had 37 runs while you've been on the mound so far this season. What's that like, pitching with such a lead?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, especially when your team goes out there early and gets you some runs, you just feel a lot more comfortable on the mound. You get a lot more racks. You have an ability, you feel like, to attack the batters more. And if something does happen, say you give up a hit, you walk a guy, you know that you're going to be all right because you got a big lead. Especially as the game goes on, it allows you to kind of get into a kind of cruise control mode.
One of the things that's really helped you attack batters is your fastball so far. Really good velocity and good command. You can go inside out, up, down. Kind of what is your approach with that pitch as far as each batter as you get through the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, generally the first time through the lineup, I really try to use primarily the fastball and see if they can hit it. And if they're not, the whole team shows the ability to hit it, then I just go ahead and stick with that pitch. But if there is a hitter that shows the ability to turn it around or hit it, then the second time through, especially, I'll start mixing in some off speed and talk to my pitcher coach and catcher about how we want to attack them.
Now, compared to when you're pitching for Stanford, how much scouting or preparation goes into that as far as recognizing what the batter's weaknesses are compared to when you're just pitching in summer?
Yeah, at school, we have a little bit more of an in-depth scouting report on the players because we've played them before and they have from years past. But here in the summer, I just kind of go into it with the same mindset of attacking guys equally until they show the ability to do something different. And like I said earlier, especially after the first time through the lineup, the second, third time through, talking with my catcher and pitcher coach, we kind of find the weaknesses of some of their hitters and then adjust our plan and attack from that.
Now we got a question from Gully Jr. Situation for you. Andrew Dashbach is on the mound. Home run derby, you versus Jack Little. Who wins?
I'm going to go with me for sure. I think I've seen Jack swing the bat a couple of times, and it's not too pretty. His athleticism overall is a bit questionable, so I think I'm definitely going to win that one.
All right, well, there you have it. Home Run Derby champion Eric Miller, Dave Peck. Pre-game show continues next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Hi, and welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Meredith Peppis here with Bo Saburn. Bo, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So today we're interviewing with staff members. So, Bo, where are you from?
I'm from Basking Ridge, New Jersey.
Wow, and how did you hear about the Gulls? How did you hear about the Gulls?
The last 2 years, I've been the assistant director of baseball operations at the University of Rhode Island, and one of my roles last summer was coaching and doing concessions at one of the youth baseball camps, and one of the kids that was working there was Matt Murphy, and Matt Murphy is one of the pitchers for us, and through him I heard about the Newport Gulls.
That's awesome. And what school do you go to?
I go to Miami University in Ohio.
Interesting. And finally, what do you like most about being here at the Gulls?
I mean, Newport is a great town, and Cardines is one of the most historic ballparks in the United States, and I'm just doing what I love for the sport I love, and yeah, it's just been great so far.
Do you hope to work in baseball when you get older?
I do, yes. I aspire to be a general manager at the professional level.
Well, you're definitely on the road to that. The pregame show continues here next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for a new segment here on the pregame show. It's Dad's Corner here with Newport Gulls infielder Tyler Green out of Vanderbilt and our special guest Jake Brote from Santa Clara. Tyler, what's cooking in the corner?
Well, today in the corner, I think the team's coming off a great off day. We're well rested. We're ready to go. Coming off a good game 2 days ago, so I think just feeling good about ourselves and coming off well rested. So we look forward to moving forward today.
Jake, we'll flip it over to you. What's cooking in the corner?
The bats are definitely cooking today. We just had a great BP. Like you said, we're coming off a good off day. We got to spend some time with each other yesterday, and yeah, we're ready to rock and roll today.
It's Newport and Ocean State here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. Tyler, of course, this Newport offense is heating up. What else is heating up in the corner here today?
To go along with the Newport summer heating up, I would say that the Newport Gulls bats are really coming alive, and I think you can even look to Jake. Had a great day the other day, 2 days ago. 2 knocks, I believe. Is there any more, Jake? 2? Yeah, 2 for 2. Andrew Dashbach, I think we talked about him the other day. He's heating up as well. So I think along with the Newport summer, we could say the Newport bats are heating up right today.
We really see all kinds of temperature here in the city by the sea. Sometimes it's warm, and guess what? Sometimes it's kind of cold. Jake, anything cold going on in the corner?
Definitely Gabe Snyder's chesty getting cold. He's actually, I've seen him in the gym. He's not putting up the normal amount of weight that he does in the gym for his chesty workout. So yeah,
Chesty's workout is cooling down for sure. I've seen it too. I've noticed that, and it was hot, and it cooled off recently.
It really is unfortunate to see. A big guy hits a lot of home runs, but let's see. I mean, we'll see how it plays out in the next few weeks if he heats it back up, because we're going to need his bat back in the lineup. So the chesty game got to improve.
Maybe we'll see Gabe's chesties heating up here next time. But for now, yeah, I'd say I'd agree with Jake. It's definitely cooling down.
First pitch between the Gulls and the Waves set for 6:35 p.m. This is the Dad's Corner with Newport Gulls infielder Tyler Green and our special guest Jake Brote from Santa Clara. I'm Darren Zaslow. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you here. To my left is Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck, and to my right, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman. Dave, we'll start with you right now. A Newport team offensively that is looking very strong, coming off a 20-3 win over Valley this past Monday, a 22-hit output for this Newport team. How big was that?
Huge. Biggest game of the season, 20-3 win against the first place Valley Blue Sox. You know what that tells me, Darren? That tells me we can beat anybody in the conference if you just have a good approach and you kind of get things rolling. It's all about gelling, and the bats are starting to come alive. Eric Miller had a great outing to pick up the win. He's had a lot of run support in the past. We look to just continue that trend. I think there's a great vibe around the team right now. Obviously, we're playing a very good, very impressive Ocean State team who is ranked third, I believe, in summer collegiate baseball teams around the country. So this is a great test to see what this offense and what this pitching staff can do coming off a great win against another great opponent.
Eric Miller did get the victory in that ball game. He is now 2-0 on the season, the southpaw out of Stanford. Dave, you had a chance to interview him. Talk to me. What have you seen from Miller thus far, and what has allowed him to be so successful?
He's really been pounding the zone. He's got great velocity on his fastball, and he's got great command. And those two combinations can be deadly, especially in this league. He talked a lot about going after batters early with the fastball, maybe the first time through the lineup, just to kind of get a sense of, he's not very familiar with a lot of these players like they are in college when they play several times, but it's early in the season, so he's starting to get a sense of how they will react to his ball, and by the second or third time around, he may try and mix things up based on tendencies he's seen and his rapport with the catcher, Ty Duvall. So, you know, he just did a great job of making the batters a little bit uncomfortable and pressuring them to put the ball in play.
It was a rainout yesterday against the Keene Swamp Bats in a doubleheader up in Keene, New Hampshire. Dave, you think it was a nice off day for this team coming off a big win like that?
Yeah, I think any off day is nice, especially when it's such a long season like that. But honestly, it would have been nice to see how the team responds the next day, playing a doubleheader. You got a twin bill up in Keene after a 20-3 win. It would have been a nice, mental test, I guess you could say. But they'll take the off day and kind of focus on today going forward and take care of the rest of the week. It's all about winning the week in the NECBL. So let's see if they can get one today.
Newport 5-11 entering play here tonight. Ocean State, on the other hand, outright in first place with an 11-3 record in the NECBL's Southern Division. Stone, well, what it comes down to, pitching for this Ocean State Waves team, a 2.58 team ERA. That is the best in the NECBL. Once again, this pitching staff is continuing to dominate.
Yeah, right now I think that's really what they're writing home about. And the offense coming off the best victory last night, 14-1, but when you put up 14 runs, the pitching staff kind of goes unnoticed. And it was Tasos Stathopoulos who told the rubber he would go 5 innings just giving up 1 run. The bullpen has been lights out. As a staff, they struck out 11 batters last night in their victory at home, but this is a tough stretch for the pitching rotation and staff because we played 9 games in 8 days. This will now be 5 games in the next 5 days after playing a doubleheader on Monday versus Mystic and having a game last night back home at Old Mountain Field. So this really is the grind part of the season now, where they're going to only have 3 off days over the whole course of the month of July. It's going to test this pitching staff and the bullpen going deep into games, but right now you really can't complain. The 2 losses at Mystic, we'll kind of see over these next couple games if those are fluke losses or if that's really a storyline to follow. But after bouncing back last night with a 14-1 victory, you really can't complain if you're an Ocean State Wave right now.
Well, certainly the offense for Ocean State last night was excellent. Ocean State also just 99 team strikeouts offensively. That's the second lowest in the NECBL. Stone, and we've talked about this offense. What have you seen from them? Because from that number, it's an offense that really puts the ball in play effectively.
Sure. I've seen a lot of in wins for the Waves. They get deep into counts. They're 9-mans and leadoff mans at Kyle Conger, Liam MacArthur. They see a lot of pitches, and that's something that yesterday in batting practice, working with the head coach of the team, Jimmy Sorrow, and the hitting coach, and Pete Clays, they really stress to him that if you're striking out a lot, you don't know what pitches you want to hit quite yet. So it's about seeing a lot of pitches, and this is what summer baseball is all about, is getting to know yourself a little bit better as a collegiate player. And right now, these guys are seeing a lot of pitches, taking a lot of pitches, and working deep into counts. And in their wins, they're seeing 6 or 7 pitches in at bat. It's in their losses. At Mystic, I can think of in both those losses, they're swinging on the first or second pitches they're seeing. And they're a fastball type of ball club where they like to hit that fastball. But if they see some breaking balls hit the dirt, they watch a couple fastballs go by them. They work really deep into counts, and that's really what's proved to pave the way on wins for these Waves this season.
Ocean State in first place in the NECBL Southern Division, like we talked about. Do you see a lot of confidence with this team? Where's this team's mindset at right now?
I do see a lot of confidence. I see these guys that are not afraid when they get up to the plate, but I also see, starting from the leadership and the GM roles and Matt Finlayson and the owner and the coaching staff as well, they're not letting that number 3 get to these guys' heads, and understanding that last year when they were ranked number 6, they would go on to drop 15 of their next 21 games and really would knock them out of all contention to compete in the NECBL. Right now at 11-3, you have to be happy, but you're not comfortable, and that's what separates good teams from the bad teams. You see Newport, you know, they're always consistently in the NECBL in terms of competing, and it's teams that have confidence but understand they can always get better, and that's what the Waves are working at right now. This may be the first time in probably the history of the organization that they've really been a team that are circled on people's calendars, but it's a team that really they want to improve despite already being 11-3.
It's Ocean State and Newport here, Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. First pitch set for 6:35 p.m. For Dave Peck and Stone Freeman, I'm Darren Zaslow. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Manager's Show. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls manager Al Leyva. Al, what a win it was for Newport on Monday against the Valley Blue Sox. A 20-3 win. Talk to me, what did you see in that game? And this team is really starting to click right now, is what it looks like.
Well, you know, it's like you wish all the games were like that, you know, especially as a manager. And, you know, you can get a lot of people playing time, but you know, even though we lost on Sunday, it was a 2-1 ball game in 10 innings. We hit the ball well, but it was right at somebody. So, you know, hopefully Sunday was what started it, and then obviously Monday was a great day, and you just hope we keep rolling from here on out.
Entering Monday night, Newport as a team was hitting .202. After the game on Monday, Newport now hitting .225 with those 22 hits. Al, when you look at this offense, what stands out to you?
Well, you know, they all can hit. You know, every single one of them. If they throw a right-hander, we could put a bunch of lefties in the lineup. If there's a left-handed pitcher, we could put a bunch of right-handed hitters. And, you know, when there's friendly competition, it goes a long way. They each push each other. They're happy for each other. And that's going to go a long way. Hopefully that'll transpire into a championship.
Tonight, Drake Fellows will be on the mound for Newport out of Vanderbilt, making his first start here tonight. What does he need to do to be successful?
You know what? He just, you know, if he can stay ahead of the hitters, because this is a good hitting team, work ahead, stay ahead, you know, then give us a chance. And if he can go 5-6 innings, then it just, I mean, then we have the bullpen who can go behind him, and it'll just be a good night for everybody, hopefully.
It's Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series, Newport and Ocean State. First pitch set for 6:35 p.m. For the manager, Al Leyva, I am Darren Zaslow. Newport Gulls baseball is up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Darren Zaslow and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
We are ready for Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, here in the city by the sea. Darren Zaslow with you here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, and I'm joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, in Stone Freeman, and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. We are all here with you getting ready for baseball. Ocean State 11-3 entering play here tonight. They are in first place in the NECBL's Southern Division. Newport with a record of 5-11, coming off a 20-3 win over the Valley Blue Sox. Dave, it was a game in which Newport offensively had an excellent night, out hitting Danbury 22-7. Andrew Dashbaugh currently off to a great start. He went 4 for 6 in that game with 4 runs scored and 4 RBI. Newport needs to take that offensive momentum here tonight.
And I think there's no reason they shouldn't, as far as, being able to put production and being able to get base runners. Granted, Ocean State has a really great pitching staff that they've kind of exhibited the 2 times that these 2 teams have matched up. That being said, this team is used to seeing such good pitchers like that. I don't feel like that's a good enough excuse for them to have less than 5 runs tonight.
Stone, this is an Ocean State team, obviously a lot of talent, coming off a 14-1 victory over Danbury. We talked about it in the pregame show. The pitching has been excellent this year with a 2.58 team ERA. That is the lowest in the NECBL. Talk to me about that Danbury game, though, where this offense really put things together.
Yeah, I think for the Ocean State Waves, obviously after losing 2 back-to-back games at Mystic earlier this week on Monday, you're going to take runs however they may come. But I'm sure if you talk to these Waves, they're going to be very open with you that that game there was a lot of pass balls and a lot of runs being scored that weren't necessarily, hard hit balls that are RBI making balls. So the Waves, though, they did have 11 guys, different guys get on base in that game, which is, every person that came to the plate at least got 1 appearance on the base paths, which is big, whether it being drawing a walk, getting hit by a pitch, or getting on base. So the Waves will take the victory 14-1, and it was a good win to have after losing 2 straight to kind of prove to themselves, all right, that was just a little bit of a skid here. We got to keep rolling through this season.
It is Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series here on Salve Regina night. 250 free Gulls adult T-shirts were handed out before the game, courtesy of Chris Electric. And as you can see, the Gulls are jogging out to their positions, joined by the baseball buddies, Challenger Little League. Should be a fantastic ball game. First pitch between the Waves and the Gulls set for 6:35 p.m. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a look around the NECBL scoreboard from last night and the current standings after this. Welcome back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network with a look around last night's NECBL scoreboard and the current standings in the league. Here's Gulls field reporter Dave Peck.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. 5 games slated for yesterday. 3 only played due to rain up at Winnipesaukee and Keene, as the Gulls and the Swamp Bats did not get their game in. Winnipesaukee and the Mountaineers also did not get their game in, as it was rained out at Robbie Mills Park. The games that were played, Sanford Mainers defeated the North Adams Steeplecats 6-1. Plymouth Pilgrims held on against New Bedford, winning that one by a score of 8-4 at Paul Walsh Field. And your final from Ocean State was 14-1 in that blowout versus the Westerners.
When we talk about the standings, Dave, and, well, it is very competitive in this league, of course, and why don't you take us through the standings here in the North and the South?
Certainly very competitive and certainly very tight in the Northern Division. Upper Valley Nighthawks now 11-5, reclaimed that #1 spot in the Northern Division that they had earlier in the year. Valley Blue Sox right behind them. And then North Adams, Winnipesaukee, and Vermont Mountaineers all in the middle of that Northern Division. Keene's Swamp Bats and the Sanford Mainers rounding it out at 6-10 and 5-11 respectively. In the Southern Division, Ocean State 11-3, and they're remaining hot. It'll be interesting to see how they do tonight. Mystic Schooners behind them 8-6. So far they've had the Waves number, so it's a nice 1-2 rivalry developing in the Southern Division. Danbury 10-8 and Plymouth Pilgrims 9-8 right behind them, followed by New Bedford at 7-9, and the Gulls at 5-11, looking to win their first back-to-back game of the season, Darren.
Thanks so much, Dave. First pitch is being thrown out tonight by Eric Sorella, head coach of Salve Regina Baseball currently. Janelle Iaquinto, the head coach of Salve Regina Softball. And also Kelsey Borman, a softball captain. Nikki Bukowski, a softball captain. Lexi Sushi, another softball captain. And Kara O'Reilly, a softball captain. All softball players at Salve Regina. So we are almost ready for baseball here between the Ocean State Waves and the Newport Gulls. Don't go anywhere. We'll bring you the national anthem up next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Reminder, the
All right, welcome you back here to Guardians Field in Newport, Rhode Island, here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It's Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series between the Ocean State Waves and the Newport Gulls. Ocean State 11-3 overall, Newport 5-11. Both of these teams, of course, play in the Southern Division. Most importantly, Stone, both of these teams coming off huge wins. Ocean State with a win over Danbury last night, 14-1. Newport this past Monday with a victory over the Valley Blue Sox at 20-3. Gorgeous night for baseball. Should be another fantastic ball game.
Yeah, I like how you talked about the weather there slightly, because last time we were here we had that hour-and-a-half rain delay that whipped through Guardians Field, and we ended up playing the game. The Waves up 2-0 in the Pell Bridge Series this year. Newport looking to slowly climb on back into that category, but you're right, both teams coming off of big wins. And really their best offensive performances of the season for both squads. So it'll be interesting to see how their pitching rotations rebuttal over these next couple games. You know, they get so much run support in their last couple starts. You know, kind of what happens now if the bats start to struggle a little bit. And two great arms going to the mound today, one for the Waves and also for the Gulls. So it's a great night for baseball at a beautiful ballpark, and we're ready to go for any CBL action.
You bring up a very interesting point with the pitching staffs. Ocean State, we talked about it, the best team ERA in the league, a 2.58 team ERA. Newport, on the other hand, with an ERA of 4.47. That is the second worst in the league. Offensively, it's an Ocean State team. Same thing, we talked about it in the pregame show, puts the ball in play, simply put. 253 team batting average for the Waves. That is number 5. For Newport, it's at 225. But I'll tell you what, that went up 23 points in just one game. Going into Monday night's 20-3 win, Newport entering that game was hitting just 202. So a 23-point increase from 202 to 225. This Newport offense is ready to roll here again tonight. Newport will next be home here on Friday night when they host the Vermont Mountaineers at 6:35 p.m. That one will be on Eckerd College reunion night. 253 Newport Gulls t-shirts will be given out courtesy of the Brick Alley Pub. So certainly a great night coming up here on Friday, and I'll tell you what, we have a beautiful night for baseball here tonight as well. Tomorrow night, the Gulls will travel out to New Bedford to take on the Bay Sox at 6:30. And Stone, we talked about the divisions here as well. You know, Ocean State, of course, you know, with a lead here, but it's a very competitive Southern Division. And most importantly, it's a very competitive league. We've talked about that numerous times.
Yeah, it's a league that streaks matter. And, you know, if you drop 6 in a week, you know, usually logic would tell you, wow, but logic in the NECBL says that you can bounce back and win 5 the next week.
We're just about ready for the national anthem. That is being sung by Alexis, Emily, and Grace Queller. We will throw it down to the field for the national anthem. It's Ocean State and Newport, Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. First pitch set for 6:35. Here is the national anthem.
Worship nights with the Catholic Youth Ministry called Revive. Let me introduce to you Alex, Emily, and Grace Cuellar.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's worthy light what so proudly we
beautiful national anthem sung by Alex, Emily, and Grace Queller here on Salve Regina night. We are just about ready for first pitch between the Newport Gulls and the Ocean State Waves. We'll get you starting lineups and first pitch for Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series right after this, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series is just about to get underway. Alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxow, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman, and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. I am Darren Zaslow. We are all here with you right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Once again, Ocean State 11-3 overall, Newport 5-11. Ocean State coming off a 14-1 win over the Danbury Westerners last night. Newport trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this year, coming off a 20-3 win over the Valley Blue Sox this past Monday. We are just about ready for baseball. And to take you through the starting lineup for the Ocean State Waves, here is the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman.
Thanks so much, Darren. We'll start things off with the center fielder from Seton Hall, Liam MacArthur, who leads things off. Then it's Bobby Honeyman, the second baseman from Stony Brook. Batting third, Randall Canamaro, the third baseman, his 15 RBIs on the season. Second in the NECBL, Matt Cogan, the right fielder from Belmont, will clean things up. Chris Wright, the two-way player from Bryant, plays first base and bats fifth. Mike Alessio, the DH from Seton Hall, he'll bat sixth. Alex Webb, catcher from the University of Alabama, he bats seventh. Brian Mosky will bat eighth from Quinnipiac University in left field tonight. And David Shabu, the shortstop from Kennesaw State, will round things up and bat ninth for the Ocean State Waves in their 15th game of the season.
Thanks so much, Stone. They will go to work against Newport starter Drake Fellows. He makes his Newport debut here tonight at Vanderbilt. He was a starting pitcher for the Commodores this past spring. He went 16 appearances, made 10 starts, went 3-3 with a 3.30 ERA. He had one save as well. He pitched 62.2 innings, allowed 54 hits, 23 earned runs, had 68 strikeouts, and 17 walks. And for Newport's starting lineup, that looks like this for second-year manager Al Leyva. Leading off is the left fielder Cameron Meisner out of Missouri. Batting second is designated hitter out of Stanford, Andrew Dashbach. In the number 3 spot is the first baseman from Wright State, and Gabe Snyder. Tyler Green mans the hot corner. He's at third, batting cleanup from Vanderbilt. Also, his Vanderbilt teammate and J.J. Blade is in right field tonight, batting fifth. Bruce Steele's the shortstop, hitting sixth out of Wake Forest. The catcher is Ty Duvall from Vanderbilt, batting seventh. In center field is Kate Cabanis from Oklahoma State, hitting eighth. And rounding out the Newport lineup is Carter Aldretti, the second baseman from Arizona State. And Stone, they are going to work here tonight against Ryan Stark out of Stetson.
Yeah, Stark, so far on the season, his last time out was a win against this Newport Gulls club. It came against Newport at home, though, at Old Mountain Field, so his first start of his career here at Cardines. But Stark had gone 5 innings, giving up 1 run, had 4 hits given up, 8 strikeouts, no walks. On the season overall, he's got a 4.50 ERA, 1-1 split record. In 2 starts so far, he's gone 10 innings pitched, giving up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, and 11 Ks to just 1 walk for the Stetson rising sophomore.
So it's a Stetson-Vanderbilt battle on the mound. Drake Fellows against Ryan Stark. Your umpires here tonight at the ball game behind home plate, Jerry Martinez, and on the bags, Rob Regan and Rich Sarney. Your weather here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Well, I'll tell you what, it is a gorgeous night for baseball here in the city by the sea. Partly cloudy skies in the area. Flag waving slightly, well, because there's about 10-mile-per-hour winds, 68 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Gorgeous night for baseball, and around the 9 o'clock hour, it'll be about 65 degrees. So very, very nice night. Your field dimensions here at the ballpark. Down the left field line, it is 315 feet, 365 to left center, 395 feet to deep center field, 340 down in that right center alley, and 285 feet down the right field lines. So those are your field dimensions. Of course, the fences here at the ballpark are 28 feet high. Both offenses coming off excellent performances. And we'll see what they can do here tonight. We'll quickly take you through the defensive alignment here for the Newport Gulls. From left to right around the Newport infield, Tyler Green is at third, Bruce Steele is at shortstop, Carter Aldretti is at second, Gabe Snyder is at first. From left to right in the Newport outfield, Cameron Meisner is in left field, Cade Cabanis is in center, J.J. Blade is in right, Ty Duvall is behind home plate catching the balls and strikes from Drake Fellows, who makes his Newport debut here tonight. The Gulls are dressed in their home white uniforms with Gulls written in blue, outlined in orange from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are blue, outlined in orange as well. The Gulls also wear white pants with a blue and orange stripe down the sides. As Liam MacArthur steps in, the center fielder out of Seton Hall, looks at the first pitch he sees for strike one.
MacArthur had a fantastic night last night against Danbury. Takes the ball outside.
1-1 now on MacArthur.
He went 3-3. 3 hits on 3 at-bats, 2 runs scored, an RBI. His average up to 375 on the season for the Ocean State Waves.
1-1 fastball in there from Fellows. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, Ocean State wearing their navy blue road tops with Waves written in light blue from left to right. The numbers on the back of the jersey are outlined in white and also light blue. A nice curveball there from Fellows that is swung on and missed by MacArthur. 1 strikeout here already for the Vanderbilt right-hander. There's 1 away for the second baseman, Bobby Honeyman, out of Stony Brook.
Fellows works a quick count there to Liam MacArthur, goes down swinging, and was just talking about MacArthur and how usually he's pretty adamant in seeing a couple pitches, getting on base, and trying to work his way around the base paths early in contest. That time, Fellows makes quick work from him, and the Waves are gonna have to work around 1 out here in the top of the first frame.
Yeah, that's a big out there because MacArthur entering the ball game at 375, 12 for 32. Here is Honeyman. He bats from the left side. First pitch fouled off left side. It will get out of play. The Waves also wear gray pants with a navy blue stripe down the sides. Honeyman, a 333 hitter. He is 16 for 48 this year with 11 runs scored. Resides in Massapequa, New York. Next pitch, swing and a miss from Honeyman, 0-2.
Early in these first 2 ABs, we see this breaking ball from Fellows is no joke. He's got MacArthur swinging on a strike to strike out, and Honeyman way out in front of that pitch. Bat lunged out over the front of the plate, no chance of making contact with that one.
Fellows winds and fires the 0-2. Fastball misses up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2. Curveball called strike 3 outside corner. Second strikeout for Drake Fellows. 2 away here in the top half of the first.
There's that curveball again, a breaking pitch outside corner. Fools Bobby Honeyman. And really, he's probably sitting fastball on that count. Fellows works in that curveball well. And once again, no joke, these Waves hitters have to come to the plate with the discipline to be able to sit on those curveballs. But when you're throwing them over the outside corners of the plate, they're going to be called strikes 9 times out of 10.
Well, here's Randall Canamaro, a 298 hitter, entering play here tonight. He drills this one. Deep left center field, sends Meisner and Cabanis back, and it's off the base of the fence. Picked up there by Cabanis. Around first, heading for second is Canamaro. He will beat the throw from Cabanis. It's a 2-out double for the Columbia product to bring up Matt Kogan out of Belmont.
Yeah, Randall Canamaro launches his 4th double of the season, his 8th extra base hit. He leads the team in homers with 4 as well, but really he's been the bright spot in terms of pop in the lineup, as well as this man, Matt Kogan, the left-hander, that's digging in now. But Canamaro likes to get on base, work his way around the base paths, had 2 RBIs last night on an RBI double. So with 2 outs, the Waves get a little bit of life here, and Kogan has a chance to bring in the first run of the ball game here with Canamaro out on second base.
Kogan hitting .306 on the season here in the cleanup spot. He's 15 for 49, a couple runs scored, 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. Also on that Waves jersey, which is navy blue, Kogan drills this one to right field. Moving over to his left as Cabanis, he reaches up and makes the play. They've got the wave out around the W on the jersey. And the frame is over. For Ocean State, they get no runs on 1 hit, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. The Gulls will take their first swings of the night on offense when we come back. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. We welcome you back to the ballpark here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 1, Newport looking to take an early lead as Drake Fellows did a nice job there in the top half, striking out Liam MacArthur and Bobby Honeyman. He worked around a 2-out walk to Randall Canamaro as he got Matt Cogan to fly out to right field. We'll take you through the starting defensive alignment for the Ocean State Waves. From left to right around Ocean State's infield. At third base is Randall Canamaro. The shortstop is David Chabot. At second is Bobby Honeyman. And at first is Chris Wright. From left to right around the outfield, Brian Moskey is in left. In center is Liam MacArthur. Matt Cogan is in right. Catching the balls and strikes from Ryan Stark is Alex Webb as Cameron Meisner will step in. Meisner, a .304 hitter, 17 for 56. He leads Newport in hits this season. First pitch from Stark. This is up and inside for ball 1.
Remember, Stark familiar with this lineup. He faced the Newport Gulls last time out last week at Old Mountain Field, so he's familiar with these guys. A lot of big bats in the lineup.
Next pitch lifted in the air down the left field line, slicing foul. Canamaro, Chabot, and Moskey give chase, and no one can get there. It drops in between all three of them for a leadoff single, so Cameron Meisner is aboard. First hit of the contest for the Gulls brings up the designated hitter, Andrew Dashbach, out of Stanford.
That ball stays in the air a long time, and Moskey has good speed out in left field. He's running in. He's probably got the best chance in terms of making the play as he's running towards the ball. Chabot and Canamaro running with their backs towards the ball, and that's just not going to work things out. Falls in for a base hit. Newport's got the leadoff man aboard in the first inning.
Yeah, it's a tough play for all three of those players. And here's Andrew Dashbach, .378 batting average entering play here tonight. 14 for 37, 10 runs scored, 11 RBI, 9 strikeouts and 4 walks. Dashbach bats from the right side against Stark. Now has to work out of the stretch. Sets the black glove, letter high. First pitch, fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, Stark so far on the season, he does have that 4.5 ERA, but just because in his first outing of the year he's roughed up against Danbury, settled down and looked good against Newport last week. And right now he works that fastball. Curveball he uses, mixes in well, but fastball really his go-to pitch.
0-1. Fouled straight back, 0-2. Nice job by Stark to get ahead. Bottom 1, runner on first, no outs. Still scoreless here between Ocean State and Newport here on Salve Regina night. The entire third base line pretty much is covered in the shade. Off of first is Meisner. He's held on by right. 0-2. This one hit in the air, deep down the right field line. To his left goes Cogan, reaches up and makes the play. And there's one away. It's a nice job by Cogan to track that one down, as Meisner has to go back to first.
Yeah, that's a great play by Cogan in terms of finding himself, getting to the corner of the outfield and making the catch. But really, you got to be impressed with Dashbach's opposite field power. Sits on a breaking ball, pushes it out to the opposite field, and Cogan just tracks it down. But that's a deep ball from, a right-handed batter to push that far deep into the corner in right field. A good piece of hitting and a productive out if you're Andrew Dashbach.
Here's Gabe Snyder, hitting .320 this season out of Wright State. He's 8 for 25. Meisner off of first. Extends that lead. Meisner goes. Pitch a called strike. Not even a throw from Webb because that was an incredible jump by Cameron Meisner. It's a stolen base for the Missouri product.
Yeah, you said that best. Meisner had seen and was almost creeping right behind the back of Stark, seeing if Stark would have a pickoff move over to first. And Ryan just waits too long, and a free bag given up, runner in scoring position.
0-1 to Snyder. This one hit in the air, deep center field. Sends MacArthur back, now comes in to his left, now goes back again. He makes the play. Tagging from second and third is Meisner. MacArthur's throw is not in time. Nice job by Meisner to tag up on that. 2 away off of 2 flyouts back-to-back from Andrew Dashbach and Gabe Snyder.
And Gabe Snyder does his job, playing a little bit of small ball here, not particularly because you want to here for the Newport Gulls as they appeal, and looks like he said he went off safely, but 2 quick flyouts like that, one advances the runner. Now with 2 outs, you get a chance to push a run home. So once again, a productive out from Gabe Snyder, and the Wright State product is retired. But here comes Tyler Green, the cleanout man, trying to push across the first run of the game.
Green this year hitting .292. He's 14 for 48. 9 runs scored and 10 RBI. He has 5 walks and 10 strikeouts as well. Green with 3 hits, went 3 for 5 in Newport's 20-3 win over Valley this past Monday, and Newport can take an early lead here. We'll see what Green can do. It's a righty-righty matchup, Stark against Green, as there is a brief stoppage in play. And it looks like the field umpires here, Rich Sarney and Rob Regan, also home plate umpire Jerry Martinez, want to talk about this. And, you know, maybe Meisner did leave early, kind of hard to tell here. That's probably what they're talking about, if he left on time or early on the tag up there before the throw from MacArthur.
Yeah, it seemed like Jimmy Sorrow, the manager for the Waves, was adamant that he had left early. And for a while, I was sitting here looking at the field. They're going to call him safe, but wondering what the holdup was. And Sorrow had a long conversation with the first base side umpire, and they appealed. They talk it over and say he left just on time, but the Waves looking to get out of the inning there on the potential double play.
So here's Tyler Green. He steps in from the right side. Swings the black-barreled bat and the tan handle. Black and white batting gloves. Stark sets and deals. Big swing and a miss there on a nice changeup on the outside corner. Nothing in, 1 on Tyler Green.
And Stark goes to the changeup, like you said, Darren, and just over the outside corner of the plate, tailing off the plate, and falling on it was Tyler Green. For a big power hitter, you see any ball that's coming in looking like it's going to hit some of that plate, you're swinging on it, and just a great pitch from Stark.
0-1, goes to the curveball there. That one a called strike on the outside corner. Nothing in 2. Stark jumps ahead of Green.
And now you're sitting up in the count as the pitcher, 0-2. But for Green, you're probably sitting on a waste pitch here thinking maybe curveball. But Stark, he loves his fastball, and he might just dial it up here and see if Green can challenge it.
Entering play, he has 11 strikeouts in 10 innings. Deals a breaking ball in the dirt there. Nice pick on the backhand by Webb. 1 and 2. But you look at those numbers, Stone, and he's averaging a little over a strikeout an inning.
Yeah, Ryan Stark is doing a phenomenal job this season. He doesn't give up a lot of free passes, and for high strikeout college pitchers, usually you see walks that come with those strikeouts, and Stark, at least during this NECBL year, has done a great job finding and locating the strike zone, and you're right, 11 strikeouts in 10 innings of work is just superb.
1-2 delivery, fouled off right side there by Green. Nice job to get a piece. Still 1 and 2 on the cleanup hitter out of Vanderbilt, Tyler Green. Thus far for Stark, he has thrown 11 pitches, 9 of them have been strikes, just 2 have been balls. He really has been around the plate a lot this inning.
Yeah, he loves to find the strike zone, and big power hitters love pitchers like this, because you can see he doesn't give you too much, cruddy pitches to swing at.
1-2 curveball just misses downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And now the count even back up again. Situation becomes a little bit tighter. If you're Stark, you want to get out of this first inning without giving up a run. And through the first time through the lineup at both of his last appearances, he's been strong. It's usually the second time when you face a situation like this, so this is rare for him this season.
Meisner is off of third. He led off with a single, 2-2. This one a sinking liner foul down the first base line. We'll do it again. Nice job here by Green to make Stark throw a lot of pitches. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. We are awaiting it between Stark and Green.
Coming into this at-bat here for Green, if he's at 13 pitches total, this is his 7th of the at-bat. He had thrown 6 pitches despite giving up a base hit. So really you needed a big at-bat here from Green just to waste a few pitches against a guy like Stark that seemed to be dealing despite the base hit.
Break-even offering, misses outside for ball 3, so Green works a full count here against Stark. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There, Stoney went back to the fastball.
Yeah, he did there on that one, trying to pick up the outside corner. They haven't come inside against Green all that much, and against a right-handed power hitter like that, usually an inside fastball or an inside breaking pitch for that matter ends up in the pros rows deep out into left field. So sitting on probably the fastball here, I would assume, on the full count pitch.
Yeah, pitch, there it is, another fastball. It's found straight back by Green. What a battle brewing here. We are waiting for pitch number 9 between Stark and Green. Meisner led off the frame with a single down the left field line. And then back-to-back flyouts from Andrew Dashbach and Gabe Snyder, but Meisner is able to steal second and then tag up from second to third on Snyder's fly out to center field. So that sets the stage here for Tyler Green, the cleanup hitter out of Vanderbilt. Stark works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. Sets the black glove, letter high, Payoff pitch. This one grounded down the third base line. Backhanded stop by Kanemaru. Throw to first. Inning over. 5-3. Tyler Green is retired. And the inning is over. For Newport, they get no runs on 1 hit, leave 1 aboard with no Ocean State errors. We go to the top half of inning number 2. We are still scoreless here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And I welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls and the Waves are scoreless as we go to the top half of inning number 2 here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxad, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman, and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located directly behind home plate here at Cardines Field. For the Ocean State Waves, they will send up hitters 5, 6, and 7, Chris Wright, Mike Alessio, and Alex Webb to face Drake Fellows, who enters his second frame of work. Fellows in that first frame, though, Stone was excellent. A couple strikeouts for the Vanderbilt right-hander.
Yeah, really, you talked about in the pregame show earlier today, Darren, that the Waves really, when they see a lot of pitches, they seem to have their better offensive performances, but today the 3 at-bats that had seen multiple pitches were outs, and Kanemaru's lone double was on the first pitch he saw. So maybe a little bit of a mojo change in the Waves lineup as they talk things over in the dugout, swinging on the first pitch they see.
Here's Chris Wright, looks at a fastball up and away, a 2-seamer that ran outside of the zone. And for Wright this year, he is hitting .361. That's from the left side, the high navy blue socks. Looks at a changeup on the outside corner for strike 1. Now 1-1.
Yeah, Wright has been a phenomenal part of this offense and really has never found himself in the top part of the lineup. The Waves really comfortable with him at the 5 or 6 spot because he's producing.
1-1 taken down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
It's a left-handed batter too, kind of some lefty pop at the middle towards the end. And once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's working well in the bottom half of the lineup.
2-1 offering, fouled off left side. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes thus far for Fellows. One inning pitched. No runs given up, 1 hit, and a couple strikeouts. Both teams have a hit in the ball game. Fellows getting ready to throw pitch number 15 of the evening. It's on the way. This is on a sinking liner to second, off of the chest of Aldretti. And we'll see how they want to rule that. Going to be an error on the second baseman in Aldretti. And it just got away with him as it went into shallow right field. So Chris Wright is aboard off of the E4.
Yeah, really a difficult swing there for Chris Wright. He kind of just threw the bat head over the, top of the plate, and it just nicks off of Aldretti. And really at some of these older stadiums, Cardines being one of them, these fields are just not in tip-top shape, in good shape, but just not, there's unexpected hops every once in a while. That one I'm not sure if it was when Aldretti just seemed to, that one bounces off his chest at the last minute.
Here's Mike Alessio, the designated hitter out of Seton Hall. First pitch. Big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Alessio this season with the Ocean State Waves, hitting .167, entering play tonight. 6 for 36 with 6 runs scored. Off of first is Wright. Fellows sets and deals. Curveball taken up and in, 1-1.
Yeah, I think the Waves are kind of waiting on Alessio and Chris Wright, who just reached, to kind of be that next power bat in the lineup. Matt Kogan has been a great power bat, him and Kanemaru, who have the statistics, but they're waiting for a third guy to kind of show up and really begin to slug the ball. And Alessio, they're waiting for him to come around.
1-1, curveball waved at and missed for strike 2. And Drake Fellows this year with Vanderbilt pitched in the Clemson Regional against Clemson. Gave up 2 runs on 6 hits with 7 strikeouts over 6.2 innings. That was his 5th quality start of the season. Really had an excellent year with Vanderbilt. Steps off the mound there and takes a look over at Wright.
Wright didn't even go back to the bag. He stood right where he was, really. If Fellows had thrown that over, might have been able to get him, but Wright stayed exactly where he was.
He's being held on there by Snyder. The pitch, fastball, just misses below the knees. 2-2.
We talk about Fellows' curveball. We know that's there. A tall, lanky guy like himself, standing 6'5", 210 pounds. That fastball is nothing to mess with, and you can mix in the curveball and fastball. It's a great 2-pitch arsenal to have.
He'll throw over to first. Back in diving safely is Wright. We are in the top half of the second. No outs, a runner on first. Still scoreless between Ocean State and Newport. Fellows gets his sign from his teammate, also from Vanderbilt, and Ty Duvall sets the target away. Long pause on the mound, break-even offering. Misses low. Dropped there by Duvall, but not far enough away to the baseball get for Wright to advance. The count pushes full 3-2.
Yeah, Duvall, the Vandy catcher, you know, it's certainly going to help Fellows here in his first start in the NECBL to have that familiar battery mate with him. And he sets up over the outside corner of the plate for the fastball. And I think it got a little too far outside, but they're not going to come in against Alessio trying to get him to chase at a pitch outside.
Big pitch coming between Fellows and Alessio. Sets the tan glove, belt high. Runner goes, pitch a called ball. It's a no-out walk for Mike Alessio. To second base goes Wright. Runners on first and second here for Ocean State for the Alabama catcher and Alex Webb.
Yeah, right now as you get to the bottom half of that lineup now into Webb, who's the seventh man, the Waves got a couple guys on base. You like to see if the production's going to be there from this team. And this is a team against Mystic, had tied the game up in the sixth inning at 2 apiece on Monday. And still with nobody outs after tying the game, bases were loaded, and then the 7, 8, 9 guys came up and all flew out and not deep enough to score any runs. So really Jimmy Sarr and his staff waiting for the bottom half of this lineup to come through in the clutch. And what a moment it would be now here with 2 runners on and nobody out in the second inning to strike early on the Gulls.
This is Alex Webb. He is 8 for 40 entering play. Bats from the left side. First pitch, this one crushed. Deep center field. Sends Cavanis back to the fence. Reaches up and he can't make the play. The ball is off the fence. Going from second to third is Wright. Going station to station up to second is Alessio. It's a long no-out single for Alex Webb. It loads the bases for Brian Moskey.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the Ocean State Waves. That one stayed in the air for so long, struck out to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark. And you got a guy like Cavanis out there. It's a great defensive center fielder. He could have easily snagged that one, but it hits off the top of the wall where really at any other ballpark probably sails over the wall, and it causes both runners, Alessio and Wright, to hang tight around their respected base, and they only end up moving 90 feet each, but bases loaded now for Brian Moskey.
So the bases are loaded off an error, a walk, and a single. As Moskey steps in, the left fielder from Quinnipiac. Looks at a curveball there for strike one. Moskey hitting 121, entering the contest here tonight. 4 for 33, 4 runs scored and a couple RBI. Has also struck out 9 times with 7 walks. Fellows sets and deals. Curveball waved out a miss for strike 2. Nice job by Fellows to get ahead.
Moskey had last night a line shot out to center field on a rope against Danbury. Really, we just saw Webb swing early in his count on the first pitch, and he gets a base hit. Cannamaro's base hit was on the first pitch. Moskey still very early in the count. We're down 0-2. He's got to protect.
0-2, fastball, this one a weak chopper, picked up there by the first baseman Snyder, throws home for 1. And that's all they'll get. Nice job there by Snyder to throw home and make a good throw. And there's one away as Moskey reaches on the 3-2 fielder's choice.
Yeah, really a great play in terms of knowing where to go with the ball, wasting no time. Snyder comes home with it, but it pulls off Duvall off the plate, and he has to have the athleticism to spin around and tag Wright, who's going around his backside, and gets the tag applied. But just a great play, and really you bring in the corners on a situation like that to come home with the play, and Snyder does an excellent job, and runner cut down.
Here's David Shabu, shortstop from Kennesaw State. Looks at a curveball there on the outside, black for strike 1. Shabu this year hitting 148, 4 for 27. With 4 runs scored, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Resides in Loganville, Georgia. Fellows sets the tan glove. Belt buckle high, 0-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. 0-2. Fellows once again ahead here of Shabu.
Yeah, early in the season, you're almost asking for situations like this if you're a coaching staff to see what pitchers are going to be able to take down the stretch. And right now, Fellows has worked beautifully. You know, hasn't thrown a ball in these 2 clutch at-bats between Moskey and Shabu.
He sets and deals the 0-2. Fastball, ground ball right side, picked up by Snyder again, throws home for 1. Duvall has no play at first. Gabe Snyder with 2 excellent plays. Another 3-2 fielder's choice. This time Shabu reaches, and there's 2 away.
And now if you're the Gulls, you're happy. You get 2 brilliant plays. They chop down the leadoff man, and now you can go back to normal play depth to try to just record an average out. But, however, the one thing that you can't mess around with is the top of the lineup now up, and the bases are still loaded. So it's an opportunity here to make a third play that just gets you out of this inning, which at one point was no outs, runners aboard on every base, but phenomenally defensively from Snyder at first.
Huge spot here for Liam MacArthur. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Fellows sets and deals. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
The Fellows doing an excellent job getting those 2 groundouts, once again pounding the strike zone. MacArthur, though, feeling himself this season, his batting average up to .375 coming into today. So not a guy you can take lightly.
Here's the 0-1. This is up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top half of the second. 2 outs, the base is loaded. No score between Ocean State and Newport. Fellows gets his sign from Duval. Sets on the mound in a closed stance. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup, 1-2.
And really, Fellows doing an excellent job in this inning with those 2 ground out plays, and now got MacArthur on the curveball his last time out. 1-2, a pitcher's best friend is you can throw the waste pitch here. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that curveball and back-to-back pitches to try to get MacArthur swinging again.
1-2 pitch, curveball, grounded weakly up the middle. Picked up by Aldretti, throw on the first. On the run is in time, 4-3. Drake Fellows works out of the bases loaded jam. For Ocean State, no runs on 1 hit. They leave the bases loaded with no. Check that with 1 Newport error. We go to the bottom half of the second. We're still scoreless here between Ocean State and Newport right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 2, we are still scoreless between Ocean State and Newport right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. For Newport, J.J. Blade, Bruce Steele, and Ty Duvall will all go to work against Stark on the mound for the Ocean State Waves. Credit the job of Drake Fellows back in the top half of the second, working around a bases-loaded, no-out jam. Gets 3 consecutive groundouts to Brian Mosky, David Shabu, and Liam MacArthur. Stone, that was a great job there by Fellows.
Yeah, it's one of those innings that if you're the Waves and you do end up losing this game, it's an inning that you're going to look back on, because you're right, bases loaded. And really what ended up, taking a little bit of a hit on the Waves was the fact that Webb's single or hit out to center field that was one of the deepest parts of the ballpark is just a single, because both runners had to wait to see if the center fielder Cavanis would be able to make a play on it. So that one came back to bite the Waves, but really no excuses when you got bases loaded and no outs and 3 consecutive groundouts, all to the right-hand side of the infield.
Well, this is J.J. Blade, stands tall from the left side. First pitch fastball misses up and away. The right fielder out of Vanderbilt. How about this start for Blade? 5 for 9. He's batting .556. 3 runs scored, 3 RBI. Couple strikeouts. Looks at a strike there on the inside corner now, 1-1. He's out of Panama City Beach in Florida. Stark works out of the windup. He winds and deals the 1-1. This one fouled straight back, 1-2. Third baseman Kanemaru for Ocean State playing about 10 feet to his left. Pull side there for Blade. The shortstop Shabu and the second baseman Honeyman, they both play at their normal depths and positioning. Center fielder MacArthur also in his normal positioning right behind the second base bag. 1-2, skied in the air down the left field line. It slices foul and will get out of play. Still 1-2 on Blade.
Yeah, remember last time out for the Gulls, they left the man aboard at third base, and Stark had worked 3 quick outs after giving up the leadoff man. But Blade, he has a chance to get aboard here, start off the second inning, and nothing would add salt to the wound after the Waves' poor offensive inning than putting a man on and getting him around to score in the home half of the second.
1-2. Fastball, called strike 3, inside corner. Down looking goes Blade. First strikeout for Stark, and there's one away.
Yeah, Stark pounds that inside zone, goes to the fastball inside against a left-handed hitter, and picks up the strikeout. his 12th strikeout of the season now to just 1 walk, and has retired 4 straight, as here comes Bruce Steele.
So here is Bruce Steele, shortstop out of Wake Forest. Hitting .235, he's 4 for 17 with a run scored and 4 RBI. Bats on the right side, the black elbow guard on the front elbow. Looks at a fastball down and away. 4-1. Cameron Meisner has the lone hit for Newport thus far. He led off the ball game in the first with a single down the left field line. 1-0, fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 1 there on Steele as the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ocean State out hitting Newport 2-1. Stark winds and fires. Steele squares the bunt, pitch out of the zone. Nice job by Steele to pull back. 2-1 there on a curveball that broke wide of the strike zone. Third baseman Kanemaru plays about even with that third base bag as Stark deals the 2-1 pitch. Misses off the plate, 3 balls and a strike. Went back to the fastball there. Stark thus far, 25 pitches thrown, 17 have been strikes and 8 have been balls for the right-hander out of Stetson. Whereas the navy blue and light blue stirrups there on the mound. The 3-1 to Steele. Changeup in there for strike 2.
Yeah, Stark now looking for back-to-back strikeouts, and on the 3-1 he goes to the changeup, a great pitch. Comes over the heart of the plate, and really, Steele probably wasn't thinking about that. He was probably sitting on a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Changeup just freezes him, but now the count goes full.
Payoff pitch. Fouled straight back. Steele stays alive. Still 3-2.
A good at-bat here from Steele. We had seen Tyler Green, who ended the first inning with a fantastic at-bat. Today has gone on strike, so it's in the hands of Bruce Steele to try to work here with 1 out in the second inning. See a couple more pitches, and so far has seen 6.
Steele with the black and white batting gloves. He swings the all-black bat. 3-2 on the way. Curveball runs wide, ball 4. Nice job there by Bruce Steele. He works a 1-out walk. He's aboard for Ty Duvall, the catcher, out of Vanderbilt.
And just the second walk of the season given up by Stark as he works into now on the season into his 12th inning of work. So just 2 balls, base on balls, not usually what he's known for. But quickly the infielders come in at double play depth, and with the bottom third of the order coming up now, you're hoping for a ground out that you can turn 2 on and get the offense back to work in the third.
Third baseman Kanemaru plays on the infield grass. Stark sets the black glove, letter high. First pitch, fastball rises above the letters, 1-0 on Duvall. Ty Duvall this year for Newport, hitting .344, has also gotten off to a great start. He is 11 for 32 with 4 runs scored and 4 RBI. Resides in Lebanon, Ohio. He's also played excellent defensively behind the plate as well. Duvall swings the all-royal blue bat. Has a black elbow guard on the front elbow. Still no score here, bottom half of the second. 1 away and a runner on first, and Bruce Steele, he walked. This is game 3 of the Pell Bridge series between Ocean State and Newport. The entire third base line covered in shadows. Those are beginning to creep towards the mound. There's a throw over there to first from Stark is not in time. Steele back in safely with a head-first slide.
And Stark takes a long time to come home with it. We'd seen in the first inning, Cameron Meisner had stolen a base with ease. As Stark takes a while to bring that head up, the faces down towards his shoes to start off his windup, so he's mindful of the man on first base now with 1 out.
Another throw over to first, Steele back in safely. J.J. Blade led off the inning with a strikeout. Bruce Steele walked. Sets the scene here for Ty Duvall. With 1 on and 1 out. Stark works out of the stretch once again from the first base side of the rubber. 1-0 pitch, changeup, called strike outside corner, 1-1. Stone, we have seen him go to that changeup a lot, and regardless of the count, he has enough confidence to put that over the plate.
Yeah, I think for collegiate pitchers too, everybody's got fastball, curveball. If you can work a third pitch into your arsenal, no matter what school you're at, no matter what division you're in, it's it's impressive, and it makes you that much more valuable, and he's using the changeup in the NECBL this season.
1-1 ground to second, could be 2. Honeyman looks at second, goes to first with it instead. Wasn't hit hard enough there. As up to second base goes Bruce Steele, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, you're right. Honeyman there makes the right play, though. Just goes and gets the 1 out with already an out in the inning coming into this play. Makes the routine play just to first base. And his head did tilt slightly to second base briefly to see if he had a chance at steal. Realized that ship has sailed. Goes to first base to get the out. And now 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Newport.
Here's Cade Cabanis. He's hitting 190 this year, 8 for 42, 6 runs scored, a couple RBI. 17 strikeouts and a walk for the left-handed hitting Cabanis. He's in center field here tonight. Swings the all-orange bat from the left side. Stark with a look towards second, deals the first pitch. This one lined in the right center field. It'll get down in the alley for a base hit. Steele will score. This one gets by Kogan all the way to the deep triangle. Around second, heading for third is Cabanis. He will beat Shabu's throw. It's a 2-out RBI triple for Cade Cabanis. It gives Newport a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, it's timely hitting with 2 outs, runner in scoring position already. Obviously, that's a triple from Cabanis, so whether Bruce Steele was on first base or not, he would have come in to score, but with 2 outs, just a fantastic piece of hitting. It rolls, and really, if you're Matt Kogan out in right field, trying to stab that one before it can roll deep into that triangle is ideal. That one just too fast, gets between him and MacArthur. And deep into the triangle, run scores, and the inning continues. 2 outs, run already comes in, and a runner 90 feet away. Newport has their first lead of the ball game.
Of course, 2 deep triangles here at the ballpark, 1 in center field, and there you saw it, 1 in right center field. Carter Andretti, the second baseman out of Arizona State, will step in. He's 1 for 14, a .071 batting average. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. So Cade Cabanis at third base there. Takes a walking lead off the bag. 1-0 Newport, bottom 2, 2 away. Off the Cabanis RBI triple here with 2 outs in the frame. Next pitch from Stark. Misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Aldretti.
Really, it's the bottom of this order producing, though. That's the number 9 man getting a triple to score a run, and the run comes in from the number, sorry, that was the number 8 man. It's the number 6 man comes in to score, and Bruce Steele, just phenomenal hitting.
1-1, curveball, called strike on the outer third, 1-2 on Aldretti. Newport would love to add to this lead. Aldretti to face the 1-2 from Stark, the right-hander from Stetson. Off of third is Cabanis. 1-2, curveball just misses below the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stark already has 1 strikeout here tonight. That was on J.J. Blade to lead off things in the bottom half of the second. It's a righty-righty matchup, Stetson against Arizona State. Stark versus Aldretti. Break-even delivery. Fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Down looking goes Aldretti. Second strikeout of the night and in the inning for Stark. But for Newport, they get 1 run on 1 hit, leave 1 aboard with no Ocean State errors. We go to the top half of the third with a score. Newport 1, Ocean State 0, here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls take a 1-0 lead as we enter the top half of the third, courtesy of a 2-out RBI triple from Cade Cabanis. Ocean State will try and answer with hitters 2, 3, and 4, Bobby Honeyman, Randall Canamario, and Matt Kogan. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman, and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. We'll see what Ocean State can do here against Drake Fellows, who enters his third frame of work. And, well, Stone for Ocean State, back in the top half of the second, they loaded the bases. They did everything right. Just couldn't execute there off of Fellows.
You know, in a situation like that, you know, you're just looking for just 1 base hit or a long fly ball out to the outfield. Guy can tag in and score on, and 2 ground outs to the first baseman, and Snyder does an excellent job coming home on both of them. And then at that point with 2 outs, any out will do, and you get a ground out from the leadoff man. So the Waves, desperate need of scoring here.
So here's Bobby Honeyman. Swings over top of a changeup there, located on the inner third from Fellows. 0-1. Honeyman out of Stony Brook. Struck out back in the first. Fellows thus far with 2 strikeouts through 2 innings. 0-1. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. And they will appeal and say that Honeyman did not go. It is 1-1.
Yeah, I think at first what everybody was confused about is Duvall pointed down the first base side, and first base umpire can't make that call, and then finally the third base umpire makes the call. But Honeyman is fooled easily on these curveballs, at least in this game so far.
1-1 from Fellows, taken down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike on Honeyman.
Up in the count here. Want to wait and see your pitch if you're Bobby.
2 hits apiece for both of these teams. This one a sinking liner off the diving glove of Snyder, picked up by Aldretti. His throw to Fellows covering at first is not in time. You have to think that's going to be a leadoff single, and that's what it is. 3rd hit of the ball game for Ocean State. This one a leadoff single from Bobby Honeyman. He's aboard for Randall Kanemaru.
Back-to-back innings now. The Waves put the leadoff man aboard. A phenomenal effort from Snyder at first base, and just nicks off of his glove, and Aldrete made it a play. And just Honeyman beats it out. He's into first base, and here comes Randall Kanemaru, who's already doubled in the game so far.
That's from the right side with the high navy blue socks. Tan-barreled bat. The black handle. There's a black arm sleeve on the right arm. Slightly crouched stance and open as well. First pitch curveball misses just above the letters. 1-0 on Randall Kanemaru.
Kanemaru had swung on the first pitch he saw his last time up. We just talked about that patience. If he sees a fastball, he's going to pull the trigger, and the runner aboard, he's thinking RBI.
1-0. Curveball, that one spotted right on the outside corner, 1-1. Third baseman Green plays about even with that third base bag. Out of the stretches, Fellows, the pitch. Curveball check swing there from Kanemaru. Nice job by Duvall to get in front of that one. 2 balls and a strike. Kanemaru with a hitter's count, but Stone, we've seen Fellows really have confidence in all of his pitches to throw those over the plate. Same thing with Stark. You know, you've got 2 very confident pitches, at least here early on, throwing fastball, curveball, changeup in any count.
Yeah, really, it's confidence. It's also just being comfortable. You're not nervous out there, and that's where the confidence comes in, but comfortable is, you know that it can be a strike, it can be lethal, and it's the curveball here for Fellows early. I think it's really been the off-speed changeup from Stark on the other side of the ball, not afraid to throw it, and you know that when you do throw it, there's a high chance there's something positive that comes out of it. So if you're Fellows here, you're thinking curveballs to Kanemaru, and if you can mix in your fastball, go ahead and do it.
Duvall and Fellows had a quick chat there on the mound. Fellows with a deep breath and the 2-1. Fastball, this one hits Kanemaru. Hard to tell where it got him, maybe the forearm, maybe the elbow or the jersey. Nonetheless, puts runners on first and second base here for Matt Kogan off of a single and a hit by pitch.
Yeah, and Kanemaru did kind of check swing on that. You would classify it as a check swing, but really not enough to go around on, and I think it did hit him right on the hands, if anything. I feel if a forearm had been hit, he probably would have felt it sting a little bit more. On the hand, you wear a little bit more protection with the batting gloves. You wear it on the inside, bracing for it slightly. But now back-to-back innings, 2 men on. And you see Duvall comes out of the crouch to give the sign. This is where, even with Kogan up, he's got great speed. If you're Jimmy Sauer, the head coach, I bet you he's thinking of bunting Kogan here, because Kogan can easily bunt for a base hit. He's got great speed, and you're not expecting that from a cleanup man. The corner infielders are not too far in.
Third baseman Green will play about on the infield grass. First pitch to Kogan. Fastball is a called strike on the outside black, 0-1. Kogan 0 for 1 with a flyout. Off of first is Kanemaru. He was hit by a pitch. Off of second is Honeyman. He led off the frame with a single. Fellows, once again out of the stretch. The tan glove set, belt buckle high. 0-1, sinking liner to short, picked up on the short hop by Steele, flips to second for 1. Aldretti's relay to first is not in time. To third base goes Honeyman. Reaching on the 6-4 fielder's choice is Matt Kogan.
Yeah, actually, Sauer thinking the opposite of me. He's letting Kogan swing on that one. It does do a job, though. It stays up in the air on the infield long enough where Steele, who makes a great play on it, only has one choice, and that's to go to second to get Canamara, who was hung up in between the base paths, and Kogan will reach, but runners on first and third. Now with Wright coming up, who's already been aboard today on an error. He's cut down at home later on. Get a chance at sending Kogan here as he's got great speed along the paths and bringing Honeyman home on a Little League play.
Already one hit in the frame and a hit by pitch for Ocean State. Here is Wright. Looks at a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Wright 0 for 1, reached on an error by Aldretti to lead off the second. Ocean State out hitting Newport 3-2. Fellows is ready. So is Wright. Next pitch. Kogan goes, and Duval will have no play there on a breaking ball in the dirt. So runners now on second and third for the Waves, and a 1-1 count on Chris Wright. This is a big spot here early on, Stone. And, you know, if I'm right at the plate, you know, you got to have the approach pretty much cut into half on that home plate. Are you looking for something away, or are you looking something in here?
Oh, yeah. Chris has good discipline at the plate. He's got a big spot here. Base hit could tie the game up with Kogan's speed on second.
1-1. Changeup runs wide, 2 balls and a strike.
Going back to that pitch, though, that was in the dirt that Duval stopped, that might be a blessing in disguise that he couldn't throw that down to second, because it looked like Honeyman was creeping off of third base. He could have potentially came home on that. He moves well, too. Could be looking at a tie game if Duval has the time to throw that down.
2-1 from Fellows. Spoiled in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. No damage really done if you walk Kogan, or if you walk Wright here. Loads the bases for a ground ball that could potentially get you out of the inning on a double play. Mike Alessio, the designated hitter, waits on deck. He walked back in the second. Wright with the high navy blue socks, the ankle guard on the front foot, the open stance. This one swing and a miss, strike 2. Great pitch from Fellows. Pulled the string on that outside changeup as the count is now 3-2.
And that sinks over the outer portion of the plate. Wright lunging forward, and seen it earlier when Honeyman had swung at a pitch like that. Really a pitch that hitters are not going to make good contact on. Just fooling them halfway through the swing, realizing it's too late.
Those Fellows go back to it here. The payoff pitch, curveball, misses high for ball 4, loads the bases. It's a 1-out walk here for Chris Wright. He is aboard at first. And for Fellows here tonight, that is his second walk issued to Ocean State. Here's Mike Alessio, the designated hitter out of Seton Hall. He was the other player who recorded a walk back in the second. Huge spot for the Waves. The bases loaded, 1 away. 1-0 Newport here in the top half of the third. Fellows out of the stretch. First pitch. Curveball, check swing, soft tapper right side, glove flip home by Fellows in time. Duval's relay to first, not in time. What a play, Drake Fellows, 2 away. 1-2 if you're keeping score with us at home. Alessio reaches on the fielder's choice.
That's a great play by the pitcher, whose momentum is coming home. Obviously on the throw and follow through. He's already leaning forward, and he's got long legs, sprints to the ball, flips on the glove, and a great relay down to first base. Just the speed of Alessio beating it out. But once again, the Waves on the brink here of stranding the bases loaded again in an inning. Webb comes up, though, who does have that long single back in the second inning. But you really don't, it doesn't sit well in the scores book when the coaching staff looks back on it later and sees back-to-back innings with 3 men left on base.
If the bases are loaded and left loaded here for Ocean State, there could potentially be 7 runners left on base through 3 innings, if that's the case. Huge spot here. Alex Webb against Drake Fellows. Alabama against Vanderbilt. An SEC matchup. Righty against lefty. Fellows sets and fires. Hard fastball runs wide, 1-0. Webb 1 for 1 with a single.
Same spot, though, as last inning. Bases loaded. You do have 2 outs, but if you're this Newport infield, you need 1 more out to get out of it. Any ball hit to the outfield is going to score a run or 2. The infielders, though, they got to know, just go to the easiest bag.
1-0, foul it off left side. 1 ball and 1 strike thus far for Fellows. 50 pitches thus far, 31 strikes through 2 and 2/3. Webb digs back in from the left side. Has the ankle guard on the front foot, swings a brown barreled bat, and the tan handle has all white batting gloves. 1-1. Curveball doesn't get far enough away from Duvall. That's a great block by Ty Duvall. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that is, and it scurries away from him. He's quick too. Perhaps even if Kogan had left from third base, Duvall had gotten to that ball so quickly, he would have had enough time to tag him out by himself without even having to flip to Fellows coming home to cover. But now up in the count. Count goes to 2-1 to Webb. The hitters count. He's probably sitting waiting for a fastball here.
Ocean State has recorded 1 hit in each inning. 2-1. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. 2-2. Fellows just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, it's kind of a sigh of relief again. And for Fellows, he's going to work out of these jams. He's young, making his first start in the NECBL. So once again, these are situations you almost want him to be in to see what he's got going forward. If you can get out of 2 jams like this, you know what guy's going to be able to get out of jams come August.
2-2 break-even offering. Swing and a miss on a changeup. What a pitch from Drake Fellows. Ocean State for the 2nd inning in a row leaves the bases loaded. Fellows there with his 3rd strikeout of the ballgame. For Ocean State, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 3 aboard with no Newport errors. The Gulls will try and increase their 1-run lead in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's 1-0 Newport right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. It is a 1-0 lead for the Newport Gulls over the Ocean State Waves. And here for a look around the NECBL scoreboard, Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck.
Thanks, Darren. A lot of close games around the league. Up at Winnipesaukee, New Bedford's holding on to a 5-4 lead over the Muskrats. And in Danbury, Plymouth Pilgrims up on the Westerners 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. North Adams, Steeplecats, and the Schooners are all knotted up at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 4th over at Joe Wolf Field. Again, in the bottom of the 4th, Valley Blue Sox down 3 runs to the Keene Swamp Bats at Alumni Field. And in the bottom of the 4th inning as well, Upper Valley Knights up 4-0 on the Sanford Mainers. And of course, a 1-0 advantage for the Gulls here at historic Cardines Field. Darren, back to you.
Thanks so much, Dave. We'll see if Newport can extend this lead with the top of the order. Cameron Meisner, Andrew Dashbach, Gabe Snyder. This one grounded to second. Picked up there by Honeyman. Shuffles to his left. Throw to first. 1 away. That retires Meisner 4-3. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's exactly what Stark needs, Stone.
Oh, that's exactly right. You know, he's working into the top of the lineup his 2nd time through, where we've seen him struggle on the season so far. But a quick ground out on 1 pitch. He's itching for that 1-2-3 inning. He's got a couple strikeouts on the night so far, but really the 1st inning had to work around a guy on 3rd base, and then gives up a run in the 2nd with 2 outs and had to work around a guy on 3rd base in that inning as well. So for Stark, you're right, he's in need of a 1-2-3.
Meisner is now 1 for 2. Here's Andrew Dashbach. He is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Stark deals a fastball. It's a called strike on the outer third. 0-1 on the Stanford designated hitter. Pretty much the entire left side of the infield is covered in the shade. You can definitely see the sun still making its mark in the outfield. 0-1. Nice curveball there from Stark. 0-2 on Dashbach. The clouds have begun to move away here from the ballpark. If you look over your head, pretty much just clear blue skies. The sun reflecting off the trees in the outfield that overhang the fence. 0-2. Misses low and away. 1-2. There Stark went to the curveball to try and get Dashbach to chase.
Yeah, we talk about those waste pitch scenarios, and that's one of them there. Curveball, hoping that Dashbach will bite on it, just too disciplined, and lets it go right by him.
1-2. Curveball again, taken down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of the 3rd. The base is empty. 1 away. It's 1-0 Newport over Ocean State here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. Stark winds and deals. Fastball fouled straight back towards us here in the broadcast booth. 2-2, the count remains on Dashbach.
Stark's looking for that strikeout. Best way to start an inning after giving up a run is a 1-2-3. Already gets a ground out on one pitch. Now working in this inning, trying to get his third strikeout of the evening.
Stark once again winds and deals. Fastball, ground ball, back to the mound. Picked up there by Stark, sets his feet, throw to first, 2 away. 1-3 if you're keeping score with us at home. Back-to-back groundouts to Meisner and Dashbach bring up Gabe Snyder, the first baseman out of Wright State. He is 0 for 1.
Yeah, that'll do it there. Just as good as a strikeout in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. Now, big barrels in the lineup here between Snyder and Green, the 3 and 4 hitters. 0 for 2 so far tonight between the two of them against Stark. But Ryan's looking to just work that third out and move on out.
Snyder 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. Bats from the left side. Stark deals. This one grounded foul, right side, of course, here at the ballpark. Hockey-style dugouts. Newport's dugout closer to home plate. Ocean State's closer to first base. There you can see him on your screen in front of you. 0-1 the count to Snyder. Stark winds and deals. Change up. Misses up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thus far for Stark, he has thrown 45 pitches, 31 have been strikes, 14 have been balls. The 1-1. Fouled off left side, 1-2. Snyder a little late on that offering there from Stark. The lights are now on here at the ballpark. Stark will get his sign from Webb. And they agree on the signal. Webb sets the target away. 1-2 to Snyder. Misses up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Newport scored its lone run of the ball game. Back in the bottom half of the second. It was an RBI triple with 2 outs by Cade Cabanis. It scored Bruce Steele, who walked. Ocean State out hitting Newport 3-2. Cameron Meisner has Newport's other hit with a leadoff single in the first. 2-2 once again fouled straight back there by Snyder. We're awaiting the 6th pitch of the at-bat between Stark and Snyder.
The Waves, in terms of their starting arms, yesterday getting a good outing for Tassos Stathopoulos. Gave up just 1 run. And we talked about that ERA fluctuating a little bit, going up and down after that 2-loss skid to Mystic. But Stark looking to stay in the club of starters only allowing 1 run and then hopefully getting some offensive help. Then the bullpen will take over.
2-2. Backdoor curveball misses in the dirt. The count pushes full. Great at bat here by Snyder. For Newport, 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. For Ocean State, no runs on 3 hits and no errors. The Waves have left 7 runners on base through 3 innings of play. The payoff pitch from Stark to Snyder misses inside, ball 4. Great at bat from Gabe Snyder, works a 2-out walk. He is aboard for Tyler Green. It's the 2nd walk of the night issued by Stark.
Yeah, just the 3rd on the season, too, for Stark, so he's already tripled his total on the season, which are only 1 coming in. And really, if you're Newport, you're just looking to get on base now with 2 outs, take a free pass and try to work your way around the base paths.
Tyler Green, 0 for 1, steps in from the right side. He grounded out to 3rd to end the 1st inning. A Vanderbilt product. The back foot on the back line of the right-handed batter's box. This one lined in the right center field. It'll get down, a base hit. It's cut off in the alley there by MacArthur. Around second, heading for 3rd is Snyder. He will pull up, standing up into 3rd base. The 2-out single from Tyler Green. It puts runners on the corners.
Yeah, it's another great piece of hitting. That time rolling, and MacArthur fields it on the backhand, just getting it back into play as quickly as possible. As that one was rolling out towards the pole in center field. And now, just like that, though, once again, you get that man on with 2 outs, anything can happen. And Stark now going to have to labor with runners on the corners. J.J. Bladea.
Could be the 2nd time tonight where the Gulls record a 2-out run, but it could also be the 2nd time tonight where that run that scores is off of an initial walk. We saw Steele walk and score on the triple from Cabanis. Could be the same situation here with Snyder on third, who walked, with Blade up at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch fouled off, left side out of play. 0-1 on J.J. Blade.
If you're Stark, you keep thinking back to that walk. Full count to Gage Snyder and ends up walking him. And that's going to come back to hurt you here if you allow another run back-to-back innings against a great offensive team, a team that's coming around in the Newport Gulls.
Both teams with 3 hits in the contest. Stark sets the black glove, letter high, next pitch. Change up in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Blade.
Really, if you're Stark, you're looking for your best pitch right now. 0-2 the count. It's a good hitter. You've already got 1 strikeout, though, against Blade. And you can get out of this runners on the corner situation, send your team back to work offensively in the 4th.
Blade hitting .500 this year. He's 5 for 10. Off of first is Green, off of third is Snyder. The pitch just misses wide, 1-2. Nice take by Blade.
Really a tough ball to just sit and watch go by you. Ends up going in your favor, though, if you're Blade, and the lefty sees another pitch.
We'll see what Stark decides to go with here. He gets his sign from Webb. He sets the target away. Sets the black glove, letter high, 1-2. Curveball fouled off left side. Nice job by Blade here, making Stark throw pitches. And for the right-hander, he has thrown 56 pitches. 38 of them have been strikes. So Stark and Fellows at a similar pitch count here through about 3 innings of play.
Yeah, these guys are making each other work. Their offenses are doing their job. The runs don't show, but the pitch count certainly does.
1-2, fastball, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Down looking goes Blade. It's the second strikeout of the night on Blade. Third in the ball game for Stark. For Newport, they get no runs on 1 hit, leave 2 aboard with no Ocean State errors. We go to the top half of the 4th here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. It's Newport 1, Ocean State nothing. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we go to the top half of inning number 4, it is a 1-0 lead for the Newport Gulls over the Ocean State Waves. And for the play-by-play calls of innings 4, 5, and 6, we'll toss over the reins to the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman.
Thanks, Darren. The Waves will expect Brian Moskey, David Shabu, and then the top of the lineup in Liam MacArthur. All here in the 4th inning, chasing a 1-0 disadvantage and an advantage for the Newport Gulls. Newport's 1 run comes back in the 2nd inning off an RBI triple from Cave Cabanis that scored Bruce Steele. The Waves in the past 2 innings in the 2nd and the 3rd have left 3 men aboard. That's bases loaded, left out in the past 2 innings for the Waves. So far, 7 men left on base for the Ocean State Waves. Here comes Brian Moskey on the night so far. The Quinnipiac Bobcat left fielder reached on a fielder's choice and was stranded on second base. He'll start things off for Ocean State here in the top of the 4th inning. On the mound still for the home team is Fellows from Vanderbilt. First pitch he throws in the 2nd AB. Tomoski is outside and away. And the count goes to 1-0 to Bryant. Fellows so far, though, has looked strong getting through 2 tough innings as Moskey lines this one high into shallow left field. Ranging over is the shortstop Steele. Calling him off, though, the left fielder Meinzer comes in and makes the catch in shallow left for 1 down in the 4th inning.
Yeah, great communication there from Steele and Meisner. Of course, that is an easier play for the left fielder Meisner to come in to reach up and make the grab. Fellows looking very good, and he's really doing a great job as well. Not only working out of trouble, but missing barrels. And he's getting ahead. He's doing his job on the mound. He's making competitive pitches.
So 1 out. Here's David Shabu, the right-hander from Kennesaw State. He swings at a ball tailing, and in the dirt on the backhand from Duval, scooped up over the chalk on the left-handed batter's box. Shabu on the season so far. Take a look at what he's been doing as here comes the pitch from Fellows, as that's an outside called strike. Shabu 4 for 27, 148. He's got an RBI, no homers yet to his credit. 0 for 1 so far in the night when he reached on a fielder's choice as well in the 2nd. Here's the 0-2 from Fellows. That one's up top. Good stop by Duval. Throws his glove hand up in the air and grabs it. But both Moskey and Shabu had come up with bases loaded and no outs in the 2nd inning, and both would ground out to Snyder, the first baseman, who would throw out runners at the plate to keep the no score for the Waves. That one's up and outside. Count now evened up at 2-2 to David.
Yeah, we'll see what Fellows decides to go with. Could be the curveball, could be the changeup. Wouldn't be surprised to see breaking ball.
2-2 pitch. That hops in the dirt, skips away. Off of Duvall's backhand towards the coaching staff of the Newport Gulls. Coming out to get it is the manager for the Gulls, and Al Leve. He grabs it, or Leva rather. The count now full, so Shabu had swung at a strike, taken a strike, and now has taken 3 balls. Cut on a miss, though. The full count pitch, the battle won by the pitcher and Fellows. 2 outs here in the 4th inning as we head to the top of the lineup of the Ocean State Waves.
Well, that is a hard fastball there from Fellows. Strikeout number 4. Went to the inside fastball. That is a tough pitch to hit, especially because he's been working softly away to Shabu with the curveball, with the changeup, then comes inside with a hard fastball. Great pitch from the right-hander.
2 outs in the 4th. Here comes Liam MacArthur, the lefty from Seton Hall. He takes the ball inside. The count now 1-0 to Liam. Liam had his best offensive night last night of the season for the Waves at the leadoff spot. 3 for 3 night. A couple runs scored, an RBI as well. Here's the 1-0. That one's taken. Called strike over the outside corner on a fastball from Fellows. Now the count goes level at 1-1. MacArthur overall in the season, 375 coming into tonight. Takes the ball low and inside. So far 0 for 2 tonight, though. Struck out swinging in the first, grounded out to the second baseman Adrente in the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch. MacArthur takes that one. Now the count goes to 3-1. So hitters count to the leadoff man in MacArthur. Getting a guy aboard with 2 outs. What the Waves are looking to do here. And then Bobby Honeyman will call it, the man in the on-deck circle. That one's outside, called strike 2, though, over the right-hand part of the plate. And the count now goes full, back-to-back full counts here. David Shabu just went down swinging with a 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Fellows. Fastball, late swing, swung on, fielded by the 3rd baseman Green. He throws across the diamond, and a good throw will get MacArthur 5-3. The putout, 1-2-3, the first 1-2-3 inning for Fellows. In this game, the Waves, they're chasing that 1-0 lead the Gulls have produced here as we head to the bottom of the 4th in the NECBL broadcast network between the Gulls and the Ocean State Waves. Ryan Stark back toeing the rubber for the Ocean State Waves. He works into his 4th inning of work in his 3rd start of the season. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. 2 Ocean State teams going at it in the Newport Gulls and the Ocean State Waves. Waves had the 2-0 advantage in the series so far in the season. They took a home and home last week, one here at Cardines, one at Old Mountain Field. The Newport Gulls looking for their first win of the season against the NECBL South leading Ocean State Waves. Leading things off, Bruce Steele, shortstop from Wake Forest. Then it'll be Ty Duvall and Cabe Cabanis, the expected batters here in the 4th inning as the Gulls look to add on to the 1-0 lead they've accumulated.
I mean, Stone, it's been a great game. I mean, it's really been impressive from both of these teams. You've seen the offense get going at times. The pitching has been excellent.
Sure.
Stark has been great, and so has Fellows.
Here's the pitch from Stark. That's a called strike to Steele. I think you bring up a good point, too, Darren. You know, a lot of people nowadays want to see big scores. 10-9 the final, 5-6. Really, nothing beats a pitcher's duel, at least from my opinion. And right now, that's what we got on our hands here, a 1-0 advantage. Here's the 0-1 from Stark, and that's in the dirt. Good stop in the backhand from Alex Webb, the catcher. And the count now goes to 1-1.
And you bring up an interesting point there. And in those types of games, well, why do we like those so much? Because 90 feet means that much
Oh, sure.
more.
Absolutely. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Changeup maybe over the outside half. Count now 1-2. Stark looking for his 4th strikeout. He's got J.J. Bidet to go down looking twice. And had Carter Aldrente to go down looking as well. Has yet to pick up a swinging strikeout. Here's the 1-2 from the Stetson righty. That one's up top and outside. Coming out of the crouch was Alex Webb, and the count goes to 2-2. But Stark on the season, this is start number 3 from Stetson University. His ERA 4.5 coming into today's contest against the Gulls. He's already made 1 start against the Gulls and a victory last weekend, 7-1 for the Waves. Swing and a miss, strike 3, the first swinging strikeout of the night. Bruce Steele goes down swinging for the first out in the 4th inning from Ryan Stark.
Yeah, it's a nice fastball there on the inside corner, and similar to what we've seen with Fellows, you know, maybe goes soft away with a slider, with a changeup, then comes back inside with a hard fastball. You know, not only are you really changing eye levels, but you're changing different parts of the plate that you're looking to swing at. It's a great fastball. It's a great pitch from Stark.
Here's Ty Duvall, the lefty catcher. As he digs in, he swings on the first pitch he sees, and it's fouled on the ground down the first base side. Clock just strikes 8 o'clock here in Newport, Rhode Island. Pretty good pace to the game so far as we entered the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out already. That first out was from Bruce Steele, swinging and missing. A fastball from Ryan Stark. Duvall, though, down in the count 0-1 right now. In the 2nd inning, grounded out to Bobby Honeyman, the second baseman. Next pitch is swung on out towards Honeyman, blooped out to him, and he makes the catch on the lip of the outfield grass. 2 down. Stark looking for that 1-2-3, first one of the game.
We talked about how much 90 feet means. Well, I mean, how much of a different ball game would this be if Stark doesn't walk Bruce Steele with 1 out back in the 2nd when he would come around to score on the Cabinet's 2-out triple? I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's why these games are so much fun to watch, is because when you have excellent defenses, excellent pitching, and very comparable offenses, 90 feet means so much
everything
to both of these teams.
That's right. Digging in now, Cave Cabanis, Oklahoma State. He takes a ball inside about shoe high. But the Waves right now have stranded base runners in the first 3 innings. They went down in order in the 4th. On the defensive side of things, though, giving up that run in the 2nd. Here's the pitch from Stark. That one's inside and low. Count now goes to 2-0. But Stark had the first 2 men down in the 3rd inning before walking Gabe Snyder, and then a single from Tyler Green would put runners on the corners before the strikeout to J.J. the Day. So Stark looking here, the 2-0 count to Cave Cabanis, and that one hits him. So Stark will again avoid the 1-2-3 inning, this time hitting the left-hander in Cabanis, and a base runner aboard with 2 outs for the home team, Newport Gulls.
Yeah, that one, like you talked about, just that breaking ball, just kind of got a little bit away, was trying to work inside there against Cabanis, and instead of starting that pitch over the middle of home plate, he started off that inside corner, and then it broke right in to that front leg of Cabanis. But big spot here for Carter Aldretti. You know, find a way to try and bring back up Cameron Meisner with a runner in scoring position potentially. We'll see what Aldretti can do here with 2 outs.
Aldretti comes up 0 for 1 on the night so far. He struck out looking back in the 2nd inning to end the 2nd. Stark looks over at first base, the throw over, Cabanis back in safely. But really, Stark back-to-back outings now. So far, just giving up 1 run. He's looking to add that to the resume here, hopefully getting a couple innings more at him. Throws over back to first base, back safely again is Cabanis.
Well, here's what's interesting. You look at Stark's last start back on the 22nd here in June. While he threw 5 innings, allowed 1 earned run, he struck out 8 and gave up just 4 hits. He was tremendous. Seeing a lot of the same here tonight.
Here's the pitch, first one to Carter, and that one runs inside against the right-handed batter, and the count goes to 1-0. Carter from the Arizona State University. So I'm sure these summers in New England are a little bit cooler than the summers he would experience out in Arizona. Nice cool night here at the ballpark in Newport. The 1-0. That one's right down Broadway, hard of the play. Count now goes even at 1-1.
Of course, that was when Ocean State was victorious over Newport back at Old Mountain Field in South Kingstown, Rhode Island by a score of 7-1. Once again, back on the 22nd of June. It was a game Ocean State really dominated, out hitting Newport 12-5.
Stark again throwing over to first base. Right, no tag applied by the first baseman. And Cabanis dives back safely. It'll be back-to-back-to-back weeks that the Waves and Gulls match up. 4 meetings over these last 3 weeks. 3 here at Cardines, 1 at Old Mountain Field, and that was on the 22nd. They'll meet again next Wednesday on the 5th of July. This is swung on and foul out of play down the right field side. So these teams going to get to know each other awfully familiar, but the 2 big meetings that I'm sure they have circled on their calendars are late in the season. The 20th of July and the 22nd of July, both at home at Old Mountain Field, as Newport has that history. The Waves looking for their first shot at the 1 seed in the NECBL South. Those could become very meaningful games down the stretch for the Ocean State Waves. We're meeting here for the third time this season. Here's the pitch from Stark. This is swung on and fouled down the third base side. Canamaro running over, fields it on the backhand, already in foul territory. And he'll just hand deliver it to Ryan Stark, the pitcher, and give him a couple words. And Stark back to the top of the bump. Looking to get out of this inning after getting the first two batters retired and then hitting Cade Cabanis, who's over at first base. The 1-2, the count.
72nd pitch here coming from Stark. And Newport as well as Ocean State, both these offenses doing a nice job making the opposing pitcher throw a lot of pitches here tonight.
So the 1-2 Stark comes to the set. He throws over again to first base. The tag from the first baseman. Close play as Wright swipe tagged down and ruled safe by the first base side umpire. So Stark very bothered, it seems, by Cabanis over at first.
Yeah, he's got a big lead over there, Stone. I would not be surprised to see him go during this at bat. Maybe it could even be this pitch. He's got a little bit of a shorter lead over there now.
1-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Stark, and that's outside. And in the dirt, Webb digs it up. Count now, not full, even 2-2.
Aldretti even working the count here as well. And, you know, you're really starting to see this offense find the rhythm. Although there's just 1 run and 3 hits, they're making the opposing pitchers work. They're having really productive at-bats.
Here's the pitch. This is swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again, 2-2. But you're right. And really from the bottom half of this lineup, Caro Drente, the number 9 man in the lineup, is working himself a fantastic at-bat here.
And this is going to be pitch number 7 between Stark and Aldretti. And this is what we're talking about, right? Even if you don't get a hit, even if you don't get on base, each pitch, each at-bat counts, you know, in a close game like this, especially in a pitcher's duel.
So Stark comes to the set again. Glove chest high, kicks and fires on the 2-2, and that's in the dirt. Webb with a great stop. Comes up quickly from the crouch as if he's going to throw down to first and just stares down Cabanis until he's back home safely. So the count now full to Aldretti. He's in a spot here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning in a game that his team, the Gulls, already lead 1-0 over the visiting Ocean State Waves.
Really was an excellent stop there by Webb. He was trying to go away with that curveball, and Webb with the backhand pick on a pitch in the dirt.
Here's the full count pitch. Laced down the right field line, drifting, Kogan giving chase to it, and that one's foul. A long foul ball. Good piece of hitting from the right-handed batter. And Aldretti, and we'll do it again. 3-2 now, the count remains.
Well, there you saw the fastball from Stark. Do you go back to it here? That's what I would expect, especially missing in the dirt with that curveball. Not saying that he's lost control of that by any means, but because it's such a close game, you can't risk Cabanis getting into scoring position on second base.
Sure. 3-2, Stark steps off the rubber, walks towards the first base side of the bump, and just comes right back up. Stark has worked himself into some jams. First inning gave up a base hit, then got 3 quick outs, gave up a run in the second. With 2 outs in the third, allowed a base hit and a single. Now in the 4th, he hit a batter with 2 outs. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The runner was off in Cabanis, because that's fouled down the right field line. So same time, same place, 3-2 the count now here for Stark to Aldretti.
What an at-bat here from Aldretti. We're waiting pitch number 9 now. And it has been this type of offense that you've seen from Newport, just trying to win each pitch here tonight. They have done that. We'll see what Stark goes to here. There you saw fastball 3-2. Now the curveball. Do you go back to the fastball?
77th pitch of the night. See if it's lucky. It's a breaking ball, or rather changeup over the outside corner, and called strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Ryan Stark, the starter for the Ocean State Waves. Carter Aldretti didn't agree with that one. No runs on no hits. 1 man left on base. No Ocean State errors in the bottom of the 4th inning. We head to the 5th. 1-0 the score. The Gulls have the advantage over the Ocean State Waves on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top 5 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Stone Freeman and Darren Zaslow on the call of NECBL action between the Ocean State Waves and the Newport Gulls. Gulls have the 1-0 advantage, and to the 5th we go. Bobby Honeyman will lead things off against the starter for the Newport Gulls, Drake Fellows, who will go into his 5th inning of work. And he's had to labor, but he's gotten out of some big jams, including 2 back-to-back innings in the 2nd and 3rd where the Waves would strand the bases loaded. Finally, he picked up his first 1-2-3 inning just last inning in the 4th.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much longer Fellows and Stark will go, respectively. Both of these pitchers have decently high pitch counts entering this 5th frame, and it being such a close game, you have to wonder how much longer each of these right-handers has left in them.
The Fellows coming into this 5th inning of work, 41 strikes, 27 balls, good for 68 pitches overall. And his first pitch to Bobby Honeyman, the number 2 man in the lineup, is a cut on and miss on a curveball in the dirt that bounced in front of the plate. Honeyman was fooled on it. Bobby so far on the night struck out looking in the 1st inning, then batted for the 2nd time in the 3rd. He would reach on an infield base hit before being cut down at home eventually in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, cut on a miss, a high fastball. Slicing through it was Honeyman. Now the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, there may be some action going on out there in the bullpen. We'll have to see. But again, something to kind of keep your eye on.
Fellows looking for strikeout number 5. Here's the 0-2 to Honeyman, and that's spoiled, fouled off the fencing behind the plate, and the count now will remain the same, 0-2. The Waves looking to start another winning streak. They fell twice to Mystic on Monday in a doubleheader. They picked up a victory last night, 14-1 to Danbury, but those 2 losses at Mystic as Fellows steps off the rubber, snapped a streak of 7 straight victories for the Ocean State Waves. Right now they sit comfortably at the top of the NECBL South, 3 games ahead of both Mystic and Danbury at a 11-3 record. Here's the 0-2 to Bobby, and he fouls that one away. And the count will go and stay the same at 0-2.
Even so, here on 0-2 counts, you're still seeing 5 pitch at bats.
Sure.
That tells you a lot.
These guys can see a lot of pitches, and comes, I think, with the season too, as the bats start to come around more, even in games when you're struggling to push runners across. You're getting good ABs. Here's the 0-2 as that one's outside and away, and Honeyman, good discipline, lets that sail by. And the count now 1-2.
The story of the game thus far is with Ocean State loading the bases twice, back in the 2nd and the 3rd, with no outs.
Called strike 3 to Honeyman over the outside corner, and the lefty goes down looking for the 2nd time tonight. And now this is a streak of 5 retired by Drake Fellows.
Yeah, it's a great pitch there from Fellows. Went up and away there with the hard fastball. Got the call. One that was very close, but probably a strike. Nice call there by home plate umpire Jerry Martinez, and a great pitch from Fellows.
Here comes Randall Canamaro. So far tonight, he's been on base twice. Doubled rather in the 1st. And then was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He bats for the 3rd time. Sees a breaking ball strike over the heart of the plate. And now down in the count 0-1. But really, if you're the Waves, after those 2nd and 3rd innings, you either got 2 different mindsets. One being that something's got to give. A run will eventually come across. The 0-1 check swing. Canamaro went around. Looks like it might have nicked off of Duvall, who's in pain, lunged over home plate. And this will bring out some staff here from the Newport dugouts to check on him. Assume there's a trainer out there with him, as well as the head coach, Al Leyva. And they're working with Duvall, who seems to be in quite a bit of pain. As the catcher took a ball, I think, off of his bare hand, and maybe perhaps on the inner thigh. See where he's holding. He's holding his mouth, though.
Yeah, kind of hard to tell where it got him, and
he is in pain, though. You can't blame him, especially as a catcher. If it hit you in that one spot you don't have padding, it hurts. Looks like he has all intentions to stay in this one, though. Laughing it off. But he was in pain there for a while, but he's good. He'll get a few claps from the crowd. And we'll do it again.
Thus far for Fellows, 76 pitches thrown, 48 strikes, 28 balls. It's been very effective, as has Stark for Ocean State. But we'll see, what this game is going to come down to. And just to finish that last thought,
sure.
The difference in this game thus far has been runners left on base. Ocean State loading the bases twice with no one out and not being able to score a run, leaving 7 runners on base through 3 innings. That's been the difference.
This pitch to Canamaro outside. Fastball. Now the count goes to 1-2, but you're right. And back in the first inning, the Waves also spoiled a 2-out opportunity. With 2 outs, Canamaro doubled, and he was left on second base. Here's the pitch. It's outside and low. Count now 2-2.
So of those 7 runners on base, right, you're leaving, what is it, 5? You're leaving 5 runners in scoring position.
Sure. Canamaro swings and misses. And back-to-back strikeouts here for Fellows. He gets Honeyman to look at a strikeout, and Canamaro now to go down swinging. And that's 2 down here in the 5th inning. 6 retired in a row from Fellows. And here comes Matt Cogan. Cogan from Belmont University flew out to right field in his first at-bat in the first and reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning and was stranded on 3rd base. At the conclusion of that 3rd inning, so one of the 7 base runners left on base. There's a pitch from Fellows. This is swung on, first pitch seen, fielded on a couple hops by the second baseman. Now Dreddy throws to first base, and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for the Vanderbilt man, Drake Fellows. As that'll do it for the top of the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-0 advantage for the Newport Gulls here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back, folks, on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we head to the 5th inning, there's a new wing out on the bump for the Ocean State Waves, and it's a right-hander in J.C. Keys. Before we talk about Keys, let's look at the final line of Ryan Stark, and here's Darren Zaslow.
Ryan Stark currently in line for the loss. 4 innings pitched, gave up just 1 earned run on 3 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 2. Really an excellent outing from the right-handed starter out of Stetson in Stark, and he gives way here to a new reliever on the mound.
Yeah, here comes J.C. Keys, or Joseph Keys, from Southern Mississippi. Late arrival for the Ocean State Waves, just making his 2nd appearance of the season. His last time out was a perfect relief appearance, a 1-2-3 inning against Plymouth on June 24th. Struck out 2 batters, didn't walk anybody, give up any hits. So far, his NECBL career is off to a great start. The junior from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and a Southern Miss Golden Eagle. So he's out on the bump for the Ocean State Waves, and he'll face the start and top of the lineup for the Newport Gulls and Cameron Meisner, who so far tonight is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out.
Big spot here for Meisner, and Newport can find a way to put the leadoff man on base, which they have only managed to do 1 time tonight, that being with Meisner's leadoff single in the first. That would be big. You get some speed on the base paths. It's a close game. Every 90-foot advancement counts in this contest, and we'll see if Meisner can find a way on here to try and ignite this Newport offense.
So Keys will face a left-hander. Meisner to start things off. Southern Miss versus Missouri matchup here, the 0-0. And that rolls to the backstop. Count now 1-0. JC, though, one of 3 Golden Eagles on this team for the Waves. Cody Carroll, another relief pitcher, and Dan Keating, who started last time the Waves were here in Newport, as that one's outside, 2-0 now. Keating getting the night off. Had played last night for the Waves as well against Danbury. The night off tonight. Your outfield, of course, Mosky, MacArthur, and Cogan. MacArthur and Cogan, familiar faces out there. Mosky getting the start in left. That one's away and low. Count now 3-0. So Meisner on the verge of walking here to start off the 5th inning. Got to think as the leadoff man, he's not going to have the green light, as Keys is in desperate need of finding the strike zone. The 3-0. And that one's low in the dirt. Good stop by Webb as he digs it up, and the lead runner aboard 2nd time tonight as Meisner sees 4 balls and heads on down to first base.
Great at bat from Meisner, and Would not be surprised to see him in motion. A lot of speed on the base paths. Andrew Dashbach here 0 for 2. I'd be surprised to see a bunt put on, but again, you know, with this type of game, you know, anything can happen. We'll see what the Gulls want to do offensively.
So Andrew Dashbach now 0 for 2, flew out to right field in the first inning, and then in the third inning, grounded back out to Ryan Stark, the pitcher at the time from Stetson University. KC deals 5 straight balls now to start off his outing as that one's outside. Struggling to find the strike zone against the Gulls. Newport looking for some insurance runs here. Still too early to really classify them as insurance, but the way that this game has been going, 3 hits for both squads and just 1 run combined, that one in favor of Newport. They're looking to push across a man. That one's cut on a miss. First strike now for Keys, and the count level at 1-1.
I like that approach there from Dashbach. 5 balls in a row that have been thrown there by Keys. Chances are you know that fastball is coming, and Dashbach knows what he wants there at the plate, and just took a big swing and a miss at that pitch. But I like the aggressiveness.
The check over at first base, back safely. No tag applied by Chris Wright. Lines are in there. Dashbach on the season, 378, 4 homers and 11 RBIs. So pop here out of the 2 spot. Average lead off of first base for Cameron Meiser. Here's the 1-1. That's low. Count 2-1 now.
Yeah, Keys really not only just struggling to locate pitches, but specifically that fastball. He's missing low with it in the zone. And 2-1 here and a hitter's count for Dashbach. You probably know it's coming again.
Keys kicks and fires. That one runs inside now, 3-1. So still just 1 strike since coming out here. He's thrown 8 pitches, rather. 4-pitch walk to Cameron Meiser, and now Andrew Dashbach up in the count 3-1.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to go with, but again, you probably know the fastball coming.
Keys throws it, and this is fouled back. Directly back into the fencing, and now a full count, and a chance for JC to pick up a strikeout, get some momentum going forward in an inning where he walked the leadoff man.
You know, this is an interesting count right here. 3-2, you've been having trouble locating the fastball on the mound in Keys. We haven't seen the breaking ball yet. You're probably not going to see that on this pitch.
The check over again at first base, back in there safely is Cam Meiser.
You want to make Dashbach beat you with the bat.
JC comes to the set, glove is high, throws a breaking ball, and it's a walk. Meiser was off anyway on the full count pitch. And now runners on first and second, both reaching by walks, the first 2 batters that JC Keys faces.
Yeah, Stone, I'm surprised to see that there in that count. You decide to throw your first breaking ball in what is one of the biggest pitches of this game up until this point, and you go there to Dashbach with the curveball. I was expecting a fastball there because that's what Keys really has predominantly and exclusively thrown here early on. Now you got Snyder coming up to the plate. A lot of power from the left side, a very good fastball hitter. Keys really has to find a way to find the zone here effectively because Newport is threatening offensively.
So this will bring out the pitching coach for the Ocean State Waves, Brian Kew, pitching coach at Salve Regina University. He'll bring in the infield to talk things over. But 2 walks here from Keys in his second outing of the season from Southern Miss. He walked Meiser, walked Dashbach, and 2 guys on base with nobody out. Home plate umpire going to come out here to break up the party on the rubber. But really, if you're the Gulls, this is your inning. The potential to really put the pressure on the Waves to get those offensive bats moving, as the Waves offense gone down in order the past 2 innings.
Yeah, really no reason to bunt Snyder here, and a game that's currently in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And still for Newport, you know, you want to push as many runs across in this frame as you can. You see Keys is struggling to get ahead with the fastball on the mound. This is a huge spot. I'm curious to see where Kanemaru is going to play. Are you going to play him on the infield grass defensively if you're Ocean State, or do you keep him back? A double play ball would be absolutely enormous for the Waves. So we'll see how Ocean State wants to play this defensively and how the Gulls want to do things offensively here with Keys falling behind hitters here with the fastball.
It looks like everybody's going to go to their normal depths. The pitch, and that's low. Inside, and the count now 1-0, so Keys continues to struggle. But Kanemaru is deep in the hole at third base in his normal positioning. Middle infielders at double play depth, and Chris Wright is off the bag at first base. Keys comes to the set, Pierce back at second base, kicks and fires on the 1-0. This is swung on and now evened up at 1-1 as it's fouled away down the left-hand side.
Yeah, the Gulls being aggressive here on fastballs and hitters counts. That's exactly what you want. You keep taking that solid approach, things are going to go your way.
JC just finishing up his sophomore season at Southern Miss, working in his first NECBL season, second appearance on the year in 2017. Here's the 1-1. That one runs inside, nearly hits the front leg of Gabe Snyder, in the count now 2-1.
Well, thus far for Keys, 13 pitches, 10 of them have been balls.
That's not going to do it. 2 base on balls given up. No outs, 2 runners on in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 Gulls advantage. Keys kicks and fires on the 2-1. And that one's in the dirt. Good stop by Alex Webb. But now the count 3-1. So JC really in desperate need of finding the strike zone, locating it, and consistently hitting it. 3-1 the count to the number 3 man in the lineup from Wright State, who so far in the night has already walked in the 3rd and flew out to center field in the 1st inning. He's got a hitter's count against him at 3-1. Here's the pitch from JC, and that picks up the outside corner, and strike 2. So yet another full count. Meinzer had walked on 4 straight pitches. Dashbach walks on a full count, and here's Gabe Snyder with a full count.
Yeah, the previous full count to Dashbach, Keys went with the curveball and walked Dashbach. I'm expecting fastball here.
Jumping around at second base is Meinzer, ignoring it. Keys throws. This is swung on, and a great snag by David Chabot. He times that perfectly at shortstop and jumps up and robs a base hit of Gabe Snyder. What a fantastic play from the Kennesaw State shortstop.
Unbelievable play by Chabot, and Stone, you called that perfectly. A perfect timed leap there from Chabot. Didn't really have a play anywhere else, but for Snyder, you knew the fastball was probably coming. He put excellent wood on that baseball, just right at Ocean State's shortstop in Chabot.
And that's a hard hit ball from Snyder, who just sends that opposite field. That would have been lined in for a base hit, perhaps even score a run. And JC can't help but be happy with your infield at that point. Swinging strike, tipped into the mitt of Alex Webb for Tyler Green, who singled in the 3rd, grounded out in the 1st inning. Webb will come out and have a conversation here as Green heads over to put some more pine tar on his bat.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of 2-seam movement on that fastball from Keys, and there you saw that on the inside part of the plate. Started that pitch really on the inner 3rd, basically, and it broke pretty much to the inner black there on Green. That's a great pitch from Keys. Now, of course, with a lot of movement on the fastball, maybe a little more challenging to locate consistently, but if Keys can find the way here to get ahead with the fastball, he's going to be more effective.
Here comes the 0-1. First time he's been up in the count. Quickly evened up. It's a fastball that goes too high. Webb grabs it out of the air. The count now 1-1. Green, though, another Vanderbilt guy. 2 Vandy guys in the lineup tonight for the Gulls. But a chance here to put the Gulls up and add on to their 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 from Keys. That one's up top again. Count now 2-1. The Gulls have all but 1 man in their starting lineup from a Power 5 school. Very impressive lineup they've put together tonight. And the only exception is the man that just lined out, Gabe Snyder, who's from Wright State. Other than that, the SEC represented, Big 12, the Pac-12. So that's in there for a called strike, and now the count evened up at 2 apiece. We got Missouri, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest out of the ACC, Oklahoma State, and Arizona State all represented in this lineup. The 2-2. Runner goes. This is swung on, laced down the left field line, giving chase to it is Brian Mosky. It hangs up in the air for a while, and he tracks that down and makes the catch in deep left field. Runners have to advance quickly back to their bags. So JC Keys quickly gets 2 outs after walking the first 2 batters.
Mosky covered about 100 feet there on his move towards that foul line to his right. That's a great play. It was a broken bat fly ball there by Green. Shows you how much strength he is to hit that ball as far as he did with a broken bat. But I'll tell you what, that's a fantastic play from Mosky. It's a great read, and they're 2 away.
Here comes J.J. Bidet. He struck out twice, both against Ryan Stark. First time facing Keys in his career. Here's the pitch, and that's down Broadway for a called strike one. So other than those 2 walks, quickly 2 outs here for the rising junior at Southern Miss. And the right-hander holds the ball behind his back with his bare hand. Right hand now puts it back into the glove. Kicks and fires on the 1-0, breaking ball. Too low, 1-1.
Yeah, Keys very over the top with that fastball, literally directly over the top, throwing that pitch. A lot of downwards tilt coming there off of that mound.
Keys has thrown balls 2-1, 12 balls, 6 strikes as he steps off the rubber.
And sometimes it can help you if you're effectively wild. If you can miss up and away with a fastball and then paint the knees on the inside corner, it's hard to hit when you're changing eye levels consistently.
Whatever works. Here's the pitch. This is swung on opposite field, left field side out of play against the lefty in Bidet.
But the big thing, Stone, to keep an eye on, if Keys is going to remain in this game and if he is going to continue to be effective, he needs to find a way to throw that curveball for a strike. We've seen a lot of 12-6 movement on that thus far in this inning. He needs to find a way to throw that for a strike.
Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball outside. Now the count 2-2.
Yeah, when it's over the top like that, it's going to have more vertical break. It's going to go downwards. So if he can find a way to throw that pitch for a strike, he's starting to see the fastball here thrown in the zone more consistently. That's going to help him be more successful.
So the 2-2, Keys comes to the set. 2 runners on, kicks and fires. Swung on and fouled back to the fence. And we'll do it again.
Nonetheless, though, already 25 pitches thrown for Keys in this inning. So we'll ask the same question. How much longer do you stick with Keys if you're Ocean State?
Yeah, the Waves have gone to a new approach this season where the relievers, very rarely that they'll work more than 2 innings, but you got to think that Keys will probably be calling it a night after this 5th inning. Still some room for the Gulls to score, though. 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Inside. Call the ball. Full count again.
Yeah, might have gone to the changeup there, actually, on the inside corner. First time we've seen that pitch all night. Again, 3-2 here. Another 3-2 count for Keys. What do you throw here? I would, again, assume the fastball because we haven't seen that curveball thrown very much for a strike or the changeup.
Here comes the full count payoff pitch. Runners going. It's fouled away. 2 outs with a full count. Runners go, obviously, off the release of the ball. But JC has walked 2. Got 2-1 to line out and Gabe Snyder, and then Tyler Green retired on the fly out to left field. So he's trying to get a 1-2-3 after walking back-to-back batters to start off the 5th inning. Keys comes to the set, kicks and fires on the payoff pitch. This is swung on and foul out of play. Left field side again, slicing.
Well, this is a great at-bat here from Blade, a 9-pitch at-bat. Keys now getting ready to throw pitch number 30 this inning.
So 30 pitches can quickly become something not to worry about if you can get this out here. You end up coming in and getting 3 straight innings, leaving the Gulls scoreless. First run and only run of this game has come back in the 2nd inning. Payoff pitch, bases filled on 1st and 2nd as this is slicing foul again out of play, left field side. And a fantastic at-bat here from J.J. Blade.
Incredible at-bat, and a third of those 30 pitches about. This is going to be pitch number 10 between Keys and Blade. And this at-bat, Stone, has been very indicative of what tonight has been offensively for these teams.
Sure.
Lots of pitches thrown in these at-bats here tonight.
So Keys will do it again. The right-hander. Ball comes into the glove. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Full count in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. The runner's going. It's a breaking ball. Doesn't break enough outside. And the bases are now full of Newport Gulls.
Great at bat from Blade, of course. Huge spot here for Bruce Steele. And what is very interesting with this lineup, and you look at it here tonight, your 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Blade, Steele, and Duvall, combined 0 for 5 with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. So you're seeing a lot of production from your top 4 hitters and your bottom hitters, right? So we'll see what Steele can do.
Steele takes a ball, so Keys continues to struggle as the right-hander takes one low and inside. Steele so far on the year against left-handed batters is just batting right-handed pitchers just batting 154. Against lefties, he's killing it at a 500 average. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on, up top, should be a putout. Honeyman underneath it, coming in, playing it at second base, and the putout in the air, flying it out was Bruce Steele, and the Gulls leave the bases loaded 1-0. The score still stands between the Gulls and the Waves as we head to the 6th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Newport, Rhode Island. The day done for Jake Fellows. He goes 5 innings, giving up 3 hits, not allowing a run against the Ocean State Waves. He walked a batter and struck out 6. And there's a new pitcher. It's a lefty on the mound. And here in Newport, the first reliever of the day. And it's Jack Patterson coming out to work in the 6th inning for the Newport Gulls. Darren, take it away.
Jack Patterson here with a 3.94 ERA. This is his 5th appearance, 2nd out of the bullpen. He's 0-1 this year, the left-hander out of Bryant. Thus far, Patterson has thrown 16 innings, giving up 21 hits, 7 earned runs, 5 walks. He has 15 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .318 against him.
So the lefty comes on, and he will face in the Ocean State lineup Chris Wright, Michael Eschio, and Alex Webb. They make up the 5, 6, 7 batters. Wright so far on the night as the left-hander is digging into the box. He walked in the 3rd inning, was stranded on 2nd, and reached on an error in the 4th and was chopped down on home plate after a ground out from Brian Mosky on a fielder's choice. So Wright comes up. Patterson was talking about him and his line so far on the season. 0-1, 3.93 ERA. So the day done for Fellows, who looked really good. Got out of some big situations, and the Waves leaving bases loaded in both the 2nd and the 3rd. And after those 2 innings, he worked 1, 2, 3 innings in both the 4th and the 5th inning. Here's the first pitch from the lefty to the lefty right, and it's up and away. The Waves in desperate need of getting a runner on base. A stretch of 7 retired dating back to the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-0. That one's down the heart of the plate. 1-1 now, the count evened up. The last Wave to reach base was Michael Eschio in the 3rd, who reached on a fielder's choice. And prior to that, it was Chris Wright who walked in the 3rd inning as he takes a ball. 2-1 now, the count.
Yeah, Fellows, of course, in line for the win with those 5 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, the 3 hits. He was excellent tonight.
It's the pitch to Wright. Now the count even up at 2-2. No, sorry, the count goes to 3-2. The last hit for the Ocean State Waves was in the 3rd inning. Bobby Honeyman singled to start the inning as Wright lines this one, falling quickly into center field. Ranging over, though, is the left fielder in the left center alleyway, Meisner, to make the play, and Wright is retired. Score that one F7 for the first out of the 6th inning.
Yeah, great play there from Meisner, and excellent communication. Once again, Meisner and Cabanis, that ball is actually slicing Meisner's way, away from Cabanis, moving to his right. Left fielder Meisner makes a great play on the move.
Yeah, Patterson and Bryant, who just dealt, or is from Bryant, who just dealt to Wright. Another Bryant Bulldog. Here's the pitch to Mike Alessio, breaking ball outside and called a strike. Alessio didn't agree. He looked right back at the home plate umpire. He's given the bad news. So the count 0-1 to Mike so far on the night. Walked and reached on a fielder's choice. He swings on the 2nd pitch he sees. It's a ground ball fielded by the shortstop. Gloves it to his bare hand. Throws on to first base for the putout. A great play from Bruce Steele, and there are 2 down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's really an excellent play, and kind of got an in-between hop there off the lip of the grass onto the dirt, and all Steele has to do on that is keep that glove out, pick through that baseball on that hop, and Steele keeping his feet moving makes an excellent throw on the run.
So here comes Alex Webb, the left-handed batter and catcher from the University of Alabama. He singled in the 2nd inning, a long single to center field as he takes a called strike from Patterson, and struck out swinging in the 3rd. Webb from the same conference as both College World Series finalists in the Florida Gators and LSU Tigers, as he's an Alabama Crimson. He takes strike 2 now. Doesn't agree with it. Patiently steps out of the batter's box. But the count now 0-2. Patterson looking for a 1-2-3 inning. It would be the third consecutive 1-2-3 inning for the pitching staff here from the Gulls. That's cut on and fouled away into the netting down the left field side. And we'll do it again.
Yeah, Patterson there again, really doing a nice job. He's getting ahead. He's making competitive pitches. And he's working low in the zone. He's working right at the knees of these hitters. He's doing a great job.
So the count stays the same. 0-2 count. Webb on the verge of striking out for the second time tonight and being Patterson's first strikeout victim of the outing. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. Off-speed pitch that broke down outside, and Webb cuts through it. He goes down swinging in back-to-back at-bats. And we will head to the bottom of the 6th where the Newport Gulls have a 1-0 advantage. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Ocean State Waves in the past 3 innings. You're listening to the NECBL Broadcast Network. J.C. Keys back out on the mound for his second inning of work in a relief appearance, relieving Ryan Stark, the right-hander from Stetson. J.C. Keys rather comes out after a long 5th inning. Didn't give up any runs, but walked the first 2 batters, then recorded 2 outs, then walked J.J. Blade, leave the bases loaded, and then Bruce Steele would finally pop out to Bobby Honeyman at second base to end that inning. But 6 batters faced in a long inning for J.C., and he comes out for his second inning of work. 1-0 the score here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stone Freeman, Darren Zaslow on the call of this one. And leading things off here is Ty Duvall, the catcher, 0 for 2 so far on the night from Vanderbilt. He digs in from the left-hand side against the right-hander and J.C. Keys. The pitch, this is swung on, first pitch swinging, fielded by Bobby Honeyman, the second baseman, goes to first, and an easy put out, exactly what J.C. needed to start off this inning.
Certainly 1 pitch, 1 out, and Keys now, we talked about it, starting to find better control with that fastball. A lot of 2-seam run on that pitch, and Keys right there, getting it, doing what he needs to do, getting the job done, pitching the contact. We'll see what Cade Cabanis can do. He's been great here tonight defensively, and has been a huge part of this offense.
That's right. He's been on board twice tonight. 1 for 1 night. Has an RBI triple back in the second and was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Ball in the dirt. Bounces in front of the plate. Good stop from Alex Webb. And the count 1-0. But the Waves and the Gulls both struggling offensively. Obviously the Gulls not making much of their offensive struggles as they have the lead, but just 1 run scored between both teams. That 1 run comes back in the second inning. 6 hits combined, 3 for each team. Caught on and missed on a breaking pitch. Count leveled 1-1. Cabanis so far, though, on the season so far, 8 for his first 42 ABs, 190 average coming into tonight's game, so he needed a good offensive performance, and so far has gotten that. Here's the pitch. Outside, goes all the way to the backstop on a line. 2-1. Gulls and Waves meeting up once again, 3rd time this season, 3 more on the horizon. The Waves playing in a stretch of 9 games in 8 days so far in that stretch there. 1-2 victory over Danbury last night, 2 losses at Mystic on Monday. Pitch outside corner fastball. Called ball, 3-1 now the count. JC on the verge of walking his 4th batter of this outing.
Yeah, and there you can see that 2-seam fastball. It's got a lot of movement. That's a tough pitch to hit if you can throw it consistently for a strike.
Here's the 3-1 outside. And Cade Cabanis walks. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight out of the 8th spot. And with 1 out, there's a runner on first base for Carter Aldretti.
Yeah, thus far for Keys, he is getting ready to throw his 40th pitch through just 1 1/3 innings of work. Again, we've talked about this on the air, Stone, back in the previous inning. How much longer does Keys have? And if we can get a look in that bullpen, that'll kind of give you an answer.
Keys comes up, set to throw now to the number 9 hitter. The pitch, that's in the dirt. Good stop by Alex Webb as he shuffles over, drops down, and scoops it up off the dirt. 1-0.
With Newport, it's kind of a different story because Jack Patterson has started. has made 3 starts already this year, so you know that he's got a lot of, endurance in that arm. We'll have to see how much longer he can go.
Runner goes 1-0. This is swung out to right field. Kogan ranges over. There's only 1 out, and they're going to easily double up at first base. Gabe Cavanis, who was off on contact, and once that ball was hit in the air, he didn't even look back. He was all the way rounded past second base. So a little bit of a break for the Ocean State Waves. They take care of the base running miscue from Gabe Cavanis, and we will head to the 7th inning. 1-0 the score here in Newport between the Gulls and the Waves. Gulls with the lead here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here, folks, to Newport, Rhode Island. 1-0 the advantage the Gulls have over the Ocean State Waves on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm going to kick things over now to Darren Zaslow, the voice of the Newport Gulls, for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings here in Newport. Darren?
Thanks so much, Stone. For Newport, we'll see what Jack Patterson can do on the mound, but before we get things going, we'll kick it over to Gulls field reporter Dave Peck for a look around the NECBL scoreboard.
Thank you, Dan. We'll rip through this real quickly. New Bedford up on Winnipesaukee 11-6 there in the bottom of the 9th inning, as Plymouth is down 8-3 versus the Danbury Westerners in the bottom half of the 7th up at Rogers Park. And over at North Adams, Mystic and the Steeplecats knotted up at 3 apiece. They're in the top of the 9th inning. In Sanford, Upper Valley has a 7-run advantage. They're up 8-1 versus the Mainers. And in the top of the 7th inning, Valley Blue Sox up on Keene Swamp Bats 7-4. And we still got a 1-0 ball game here.
1-2 pitch to Mosky is fouled straight back. Thanks so much, Dave. Both teams with 3 hits apiece in what has been a pitcher's duel throughout the ball game. Mosky, left fielder out of Quinnipiac, is 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice and flew out. Patterson works out of the windup, the 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3, great pitch from Jack Patterson. His 2nd strikeout of the night. There's 1 out here in the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, Mosky goes down there. Here comes David Shabu now, but if you're the Gulls, the ball now in the hands of the bullpen, and you kind of want situations like this where the bullpen's going to be tested. It's a close game. Something's got to give type of mentality for the Ocean State Waves, but these Gulls got to keep trucking here after their first run and only run came back way in the 2nd.
Well, this is David Shabu. He takes a first pitch curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. It is 0-1. Shabu is 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. Check swing on an outside fastball. That one just was over the outside corner, 0-2 on Shabu, the shortstop from Kennesaw State. Patterson working quickly, swing and a miss, strike 3, elevated curveball in the zone. How about Jack Patterson? 4 strikeouts. They're just 1 2/3 innings of work. There's 2 away, 3 strikeouts in a row for Patterson.
Yeah, he looks fantastic right now on the bump. And once again, you talk about this bullpen and coming in and feeding off a good performance from Drake Fellows, who struggled in terms of base runners in the first 2 innings, worked out of those jams. But now the Waves, the last time they had a runner aboard was back in the 3rd inning, a stretch now of 13 guys in a row retired.
Liam MacArthur bunts and misses at an inside fastball there from Patterson. It is 0-1 on MacArthur. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and 2 groundouts. Patterson works quickly, 0-1. Curveball in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. We are in the top half of the 7th. The base is empty, 2 away. It's still 1-0 Newport here on Salve Regina night. Tonight's total attendance, 2,671 here at the ballpark at Cardines Field. Newport will be home once again here on Friday night to host the Vermont Mountaineers at 6:35 p.m. on Eckerd College reunion night. 250 free Gulls t-shirts will be given out courtesy of Brick Alley Pub. As next pitch in there for strike 2 on MacArthur. Nice pitch from Patterson. Holds the black glove letter high, he winds and fires. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3, how about Jack Patterson? 4 strikeouts in a row, 3 this inning. 1, 2, 3, Ocean State is retired. Let's stretch and go to the bottom half of the 7th. Still a pitcher's duel here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. It is 1-0 Newport here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
And let's hear the Cardines Field Opera Company give us a rousing rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Anytime, Maestro.
I welcome you back into Cardines Field. It's Newport 1, Ocean State nothing here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Ocean State going to go to the southpaw. Cam LaFleur out of the University of Rhode Island, and we'll see what LaFleur can do here. And to tell you more about him, here's Stone Freeman.
Yeah, Cam LaFleur, a southpaw from the University of Rhode Island, 1-0 overall record, 1.5 ERA in 4 games appeared. He's pitched 6 innings, striking out 6. Walking 3 batters and giving up just 2 hits.
Cameron Meisner swings and misses at an elevated fastball right there. It's 0-1 on Newport's leadoff man out of Missouri. Cameron Meisner, he is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. He's also grounded out. A 1 curveball misses in the dirt, levels the count at a ball and a strike.
LaFleur, kind of a power left-hander. Him and Dom Grillo, another lefty from URI, kind of serve the same purpose for the Waves. Middle relief that can pound the strike zone, but he's thrown curveball heavy here in this outing so far.
Misses low with a curveball right there. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Meisner. Bats from the left side, the open stance, swings the all-black bat. Holds the hands about letter high. LaFleur winds and deals, 2-1 pitch. Changeup in there for strike 2, outside corner. 3 hits for both of these teams. Newport has committed an error. Ocean State has played a clean slate of defense. 2-2 from LaFleur. Fastball, called strike 3 on the inside corner right at the knees. Down looking goes Meisner, first strikeout of the contest for LaFleur. We'll get you the final line on Ocean State reliever in Keys. He threw 2 scoreless innings, walked 4, did not allow a run, a hit, and did not strike out anyone. He did face 9 batters as Andrew Dashbach, the designated hitter out of Stanford, steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, right now, if you're Cam LaFleur, you come in and Keys got you through 2 innings, but really some sloppy work in terms of 4 walks. Got out of them, so you can't blame him. But if you're LaFleur, you're looking for a clean 1-2-3 that can push these Waves to an offense. It's really still anybody's game at 1-0.
Curveball misses inside there on Dashbach. It is 1-0. Dashbach flew out to right field in the first, grounded out in the third, and he walked back in the 5th. LaFleur holds the tan glove, letter high. He winds and offers the 1-0. Fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. The lights are shining brightly here at the ballpark.
LaFleur did pitch once against this Newport team already. That was back in the win at Old Mountain Field on June 22nd, won an inning, giving up just 1 hit, retiring all other 3 batters he faced.
1-1, misses down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Still anyone's ball game here at Cardines Field. The American flag waves there down the right field line, right over top of the warehouse. LaFleur and Webb agree on the signal. 2-1 to Dashbach. Curveball, called strike in her third, 2-2.
LaFleur was a transfer student. Originally went to Merrimack, Division II school. Sat out all of last year for URI and pitched his first year for the Rams this year out of the A-10. And his first summer ball experience here in the NECBL with the Waves in 2017.
Dashbach calls time before the break-even delivery. Newport, with its lone run of the ball game, scored with 2 outs in the 2nd inning on an RBI triple from Cade Cabanis, center fielder from Oklahoma State. Here's the 2-2 from LaFleur. Fastball misses inside. 3-2, very close pitch. Count pushes full on Dashbach.
It looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, too. Not to jump the gun any much, but Jake Brott is in the on-deck circle, which would mean Gabe Schneider's day is over.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a nice pitch from LaFleur. There on the outside corner, second strikeout of the night for the University of Rhode Island. Left-hander brings up Jake Broat, like you mentioned, designated hitter. He will hit for Snyder. Snyder finishes 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out, a line out, and a walk. So Jake Broat will step in. Broat this year for Newport, hitting 300 on the season. He is 6 for 20. 3 RBI and a home run. That's from the right side out of Santa Clara. Has the white arm sleeve on the right arm. Black elbow guard on the left arm. First pitch from LaFleur to Broat. Curveball misses in the dirt for a ball.
Well, LaFleur's looked strong, though, so far. Miser went down looking. Dashbach went down swinging. Mixing his pitches well, not really falling victim to relying so much on a strikeout or relying so much on, rather, a fastball or curveball, just mixing them well, and so far 2 strikeouts.
Next pitch to Broat. Takes a strike on the outside corner with a fastball there. 1-1 the count. Broat digs back into the right side, stands tall with the back foot on the back line of the right-handed batter's box. That has completely worn away. 1-1. Fastball foul tipped into the mitt of Webb. 1-2.
So here comes LaFleur trying to strike out the side. Gives some momentum for the Waves. Feed into the 8th inning. You know, starting to run out of time here. You look back, the Gulls' first run and only run comes back in the 2nd inning. The Waves keep saying, we got time, and now Father Time becomes a factor.
1-2 curveball, line drive, just foul down the third base line. It'll ricochet off the sidewall into that left field corner. 1-2 the count on Broat. Bottom 7, 2 outs, the base is empty. 1-0 Newport leads here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. Ocean State 2-0 in the Pell Bridge Series. Entering play here tonight. LaFleur winds and deals. The 1-2. It's in the dirt. 58-foot changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
LaFleur right now throws the changeup. Let's see what he's sitting on here. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball hasn't been superb tonight. It's been that curveball so far in this inning that has really been the meat and potatoes for him. See what he goes to now, but he's already got 2 strikeouts. He looked great now, reliever here.
Break-even offering from LaFleur. Fastball, strike 3 call in the inside corner. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for LaFleur. For Newport, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left aboard. We go to the top half of inning number 8. What a pitcher's duel it has been here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls lead over the Waves 1-0 here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we go to the top half of inning number 8 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. It's a 1-0 Newport lead over the Ocean State Waves. Darren Zaslow with you here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, joined alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman, and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Bobby Honeyman, Randall Kanemaru, Matt Kogan all due up for the Ocean State Waves. A new defensive change, though, in the ballgame for Newport. Jake Broat enters for Gabe Snyder at first base. Broat pinch hit for Snyder in the bottom of the 7th. As Bobby Honeyman gets hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the at-bat there from Jack Patterson. So Honeyman is aboard off the hit by pitch, and Stone, that's big.
That is big, and we talked about earlier in the broadcast, 90 feet is everything in a 1-0 game, and right now there's a lot of situations now that come in. You get your power guys in Kanemaru and Kogan coming up, but do you want to play small ball and at least try to tie this game up and bunt them over? And it's a tough spot to be in. I would assume they're going to let Kogan and Kanemaru up first, swing away with the idea that hopefully you can produce more than just 1 run in an inning. You get the leadoff man on, but the first base runner on dating back all the way to the 3rd inning for the Waves.
Kanemaru 1 for 2 with a double. Big swing and a miss. Had a change up there in the dirt. Excellent block from Ty Duvall to keep Honeyman over there at first base. It's 0-1 on Kanemaru. He doubled in the first. Was hit by a pitch in the third. He also struck out in the fifth, so he's 2 for 3 on base. And this middle of the lineup, when you look at it, Stone, really getting on base at least for this Ocean State team.
And that's the thing, and you know, you're hoping now, you're itching for just a timely on-base situation, and it's late in the game, but it's still in the game. The Waves want to tie it up.
A 1 curveball lifted foul right side out of play, nothing in 2. Patterson gets ahead of Kanemaru.
Yeah, really, if you're Randall, you probably want that pitch back. That's a breaking ball that just kind of hangs over the outside portion of the plate, and for a big right-handed hitter, you'd love to force that opposite field down the right field line rather, and push Honeyman around these base paths.
Honeyman takes his lead off of first. He's held on by Brodt. The 0-2 from Patterson. Fastball, sharp ground ball, gets through the left side of the infield. Into left field, a base hit. To second base goes Honeyman. He will stop there. Meisner throws the ball back into the infield. It's a no-out single here for Randall. Kanemaru puts runners on first and second for the right fielder, Matt Kogan. Out of Belmont, he is 0 for 3.
Now the situation gets even deeper. It looks like this is going to bring a mound visit out here for Newport, but Patterson has looked great. This is his first really, tight situation, but we've seen this a lot now. What Jimmy Sorrow, the third base coach for the Waves, is going to do, he's going to bring everybody together. The first base side umpire, or rather first base side coach, and Eric Hirschride-Bonder, both runners on base, and Kogan, and just walk exactly through what he wants. The tough part is, though, with Kogan, who's swinging a great bat so far in the season, the hot hitter of the week last week for the Waves, it's tough to say, this is what we're going to bunt you over. You really want to give him all the leeway in the world to go ahead and swing, but this game is getting tighter and tighter, and with the tying run on second, the leading run on first base, the situation becomes that much more important.
Of course, Ocean State managed by James Sorrow. The assistant coaches are George Capon, Pete Clays, and Eric Hirschbein-Bodner. For Newport, they are managed by second-year manager Al Leyva. Pitching coach is Kevin Winterow. The assistant coaches are Eric Degree and Xander Jones. Matt Kogan steps in. He's 0 for 3, a flyout, and a couple groundouts here tonight. Bats from the left side. First pitch squares the bunt. This one bunted foul. Third base side, touch there, and foul ground by Duvall. It's 0-1. So this is a key spot here for Ocean State. Can they execute with the bunt? It's 0-1 on Kogan.
Yeah, it's that, and then it's also just, can you get the job that needs to be done? And that's advancing the base runners. Getting a bunt down is great and all. You just got to make sure it gives you enough time to get there. Now, I had seen one of the coaches from Newport come in and signal that the corner infielders are going to be the one that comes in and plays this ball, which ideally will leave third base wide open. So if a bunt can get down, Honeyman will be 90 feet closer to tying up this game. Kogan now down in the count 1-0, and once you've fouled off a bunt, you know it's coming again.
The corners playing the third baseman Green, the first baseman Brodt. They play on the infield grass. The 0-1, Kogan squares the bunt, gets it down third base side. Picked up there by Green, throw to first in time, one away. But it does the job. To second base goes Kanemaru, to third goes Honeyman. Ocean State in business here with 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 out for Chris Wright.
Yeah, Chris Wright comes up now, runners both in scoring position, furthering this situational hitting now. It's a game that the Waves are going to learn from, regardless of the win or loss, because backdating at the beginning of the game, they stranded 7 runners in the first 3. But right now, this is exactly what you're looking for. Kogan gets the bunt down, a great bunt, too, that drew the third baseman Green, and who barehanded, made a great play to first base. And now Wright up, a base hit to the outfield, at least tying the game up, potentially even taking the lead if Kanemaru's on his horse.
Huge spot here. Chris Wright, the first baseman out of Bryant, faces his Bryant teammate and Jack Patterson on the mound. Gets a curveball over there for strike 1. How about this battle between Bryant products and Patterson and Wright? It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Patterson gets ahead 0-1 with the inside curveball.
Patterson won the battle last time, retired Chris Wright. Wright looking for some redemption, lefty-lefty. Doesn't get much better than this here.
Newport's infield plays in, 0-1 in the dirt. A change up there, 1-1. Off of second is Kanemaru. He's singled. Off of third is Honeyman. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the top half of the 8th. They both moved up 90 feet off of the sac bunt by Matt Kogan. He was retired 5-3. Big spot here. Patterson sets the black glove at the belt. 1-1 to right. In the dirt once again. Great block from Ty Duvall. Still nothing hurt. Even if you walk right here, you set up a double play opportunity. 2 balls and a strike to Chris Wright, the first baseman out of Bryant.
And that's the thing. I think it's a good point. If Wright can walk, you put yourself in that double play situation. But really, if you're Chris Wright, 2-1 count, you're probably waiting on a fastball.
2-1 pitch. Fastball lifted in the air down the right field line. Will it drop fair? Yes, it will. Honeyman will score. Kanemaru is waved home. He will score. Sliding into second base with a 1-out, 2 RBI double is Chris Wright to put Ocean State ahead 2-1 here in the top half of the 8th.
If you're the Waves, that's where you just kind of sigh and go, thank goodness. Finally, you get a timely piece of hitting. You know, a bloop single down that right field line that falls quickly right into second base. 2 runs come in to score. And now you talk about Kogan on that bunt. It means even more now, because now not only did you tie the game up, but you take the lead, where if that bunt doesn't get down, you're looking at potentially Honeyman, the only one that comes in to score. Both runs come in, you take the lead over Newport.
Ocean State out hitting Newport 5-3. Here's Mike Alessio, he's 0 for 2. Patterson will step off and look back right to second base. 2-1, Ocean State leads over Newport. Top 8, 1 away. A runner on second, and Chris Wright, he doubled. Patterson sets and fires. Hard fastball in there for strike 1.
Now for Patterson, you know, as terrible as it is, not much pressure though. The tying and leading runs have already come in. You're just working to get 2 outs here and get out of this inning and give your offense a chance to tie the game up. You're playing from behind.
A 1 from Patterson. This is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bobby Honeyman led off the inning. He was hit by a pitch. He moved up to second base off of Randall Kanemaru's single. A huge sac bunt by Matt Kogan. That's been a difference maker in this ball game. Put Honeyman and Kanemaru in scoring position, and Wright's double there down the right field line puts Ocean State ahead. Sets the scene here for Alessio, who takes an inside pitch there for ball 2.
I talked about it earlier in this broadcast. You know, the Waves are kind of waiting for one more guy to join Randall Kanemaru in those high RBIs and big hits, and Wright might be that guy.
2-1 fastball, letter high, strike called there on the inner third. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the designated hitter out of Seton Hall, and Mike Alessio. Out to the black ankle guard on the front side foot, swings the all-black bat. Bent knees, squared stance here for Alessio. The 2-2 from Patterson. Fastball popped in the air. Behind home plate, could be playable for Duvall, as he will look and see that ball bounce into the Newport dugout. Out of play, still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alessio. Thus far for Patterson, 37 pitches thrown, 27 have been strikes. He has thrown 2.1 innings pitched. And Patterson has also allowed 2 earned runs. He has 4 strikeouts. Works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. Gets his sign from Duvall and likes what he sees. And he will step off and look back right towards second base.
He really Wright's a big run though out on second base, and I think Alessio knows that. This will definitely defy as an insurance run. You've already taken the lead. You push across another run in Newport now. They've been struggling offensively too.
2-2 line drive over the head of Bro to first base in the right field. They will hold up right at third. It's a 1-out single for Mike Alessio to put runners on the corners here for Alex Webb, the catcher out of Alabama. He is 1 for 3.
Yeah, Alessio not doing too much with it. Just poking it out, getting a base hit. His 3rd time on the base paths tonight. And now, really, I think Wright's run is the most important. This late into a contest. And really, you know, we talked about the whole game, the 1-0 advantage. You don't really talk about Newport's offensive struggles when they have the lead. But now you kind of look and say, well, they haven't scored since the 2nd. This, I think, is going to bring a pitching change. But if Wright can come in to score, this is a whole different ballgame, because chasing 2 runs, you're putting the pressure on these Newport Gulls.
Manager Al Leyva will walk out to the mound to talk with Patterson. And it looks like Patterson's night is over. New pitcher coming on the mound for the Newport Gulls. We'll get you his name and information when we come back. But here's the scene. Runners are on 1st and 3rd for the Ocean State Waves. There's just 1 away here in the top half of the 8th. Already 2 runs scored here for Ocean State. They take a 2-1 lead. We'll be back with more baseball right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls. Here in the top half of inning number 8, just one away, runners on the corners for the Ocean State Waves. Jack Patterson's night is over. He gives way to the right-hander out of East Carolina University in Sam Lanier. Once again, Lanier out of East Carolina University here tonight enters with a 2.00 ERA. This will be his 4th appearance. He has thrown 9 innings, has given up 6 hits, just 2 earned runs, 7 walks. He has struck out 11. Opponents are hitting 182 against Lanier. Final line on Patterson, well, he's still responsible for Alessio on first and Wright on third. But Patterson thus far, 2.1 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. He did not walk anybody. Currently, Patterson could be in line for the loss if this score were to hold. But Stone, still tons of baseball to be played.
Oh, still, of course. And, you know, Newport, the benefit of being the home team in this contest, they still got 2 more at-bats in them. The problem is, though, you don't want to let this get too far out of hand. Ideally, you bring in a new reliever. You're hoping for a ground ball double play, infield at that depth that can retire Webb and Alessio, and you can head on into the dugout trailing by just 1. But Wright's run at third base potentially is a big one.
Lanier's job is to keep this deficit where it is. He will face Alex Webb, who is 1 for 3 from Alabama. Squares around the bunt, stealing second safely there without a throw is Alessio. Puts runners on second and third. Pitch was a called strike there on Webb as he squared around a bunt.
Yeah, I think everybody knew that was coming, and it was just how you're going to play it. You're going to risk throwing it down and having a chance of chopping down Alessio, but a run's going to come in. Or I think it was executed beautifully. The fake throw from Duvall. Chris Wright just didn't bite on it.
Lanier works out of the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. This one bunted back to the mound. Glove there by Lanier. Throw home. Tag from Duvall. Not in time. Sliding in safely is Chris Wright. To third base goes Alessio. Alex Webb bunts in a run. It's now 3-1 Ocean State.
Yeah, that's a big play, high risk play. But Jimmy Sorrow, the head coach for this team, for the Waves, he'll take chances like that. And, you know, when it comes back to benefit you, now 1 out, runners on the corners again, and you add another run, you're not even thinking about, whoa, that was a close play. You're just thinking about how you get the 3-1 advantage. 3 runs put up here late in the game by the Ocean State Waves.
Here's Brian Moskey, the left fielder from Quinnipiac. He is 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice. He flew out and struck out. He bats from the right side. Lanier works out of the stretch. Does a third to first move, but does not make a throw. Just looks back both runners. All ready for Ocean State here in the frame. 3 runs on 4 hits and a hit by pitch. Top 8, 1 away, runners on the corners. Ocean State with a 2-run lead. This one in the dirt, gets away from Duvall, trying to score is Alessio. He will score. It's 4-1. Ocean State to second base goes Alex Webb.
Let's see if they score that one. A wild pitch, according to the scorekeeper here, Ben Maxout. So the wild pitch brings home a run. And just like that, the snowball effect on. The Waves push 1 across, then 2. Now 3 and 4 come in as Wright comes in on the suicide squeeze and Alessio comes in on the wild pitch. And the Waves are rolling.
The count on Moskey is 1-0. Lanier leans over the front side hip, gets the sign from Duvall. And a 1-0 pitch. Fastball fouled off the mask of Duvall. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Been a long night back there for the Vanderbilt catcher. He took a ball earlier. Couldn't see where it hit off him, but he was in pain. That time ricocheted off of his mask. You know, it's just tough seeing 4 runs, a 4-spot put up late in the game when you were up 1-0, riding hot on a bullpen reliever.
Lanier once again out of the stretch with a look towards second. Here's the 1-1. Curveball misses down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, the positive, though, for Newport, your starter, game still isn't over, but the wind starting to come out of your sails here a little bit. But your starter Fellows, what an outing he had.
2-1 fastball, big swing and a miss from Moskey. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Absolutely, Stone. You bring up a great point. Drake Fellows here tonight. What an outing. 5 scoreless innings, struck out 6, walked 2, gave up just 3 hits. He faced 22 batters. Lanier gets the sign from Duvall, sets and fires. Fastball, this one drilled deep right field. Backtracking is Blade, looks up and that one is off the top of the fence. Around second, heading for third, is Webb. They're going to wave him home. Here comes Aldretti's throw to the plate. That throw is not in time. It can't be handled by Duvall. It's a one-out RBI double from Brian Moskey, and it puts Ocean State ahead here 5-1.
What a huge hit from Brian Moskey. Goes the opposite way from it. These tall fences, 28 feet high here at Newport, prevent that one from going out, but a guy that deep in the lineup at 8, you're not expecting opposite field power like that. Moskey just gives it a ride, and more runs coming in now. A 5 spot put up here in the 8th inning by the Ocean State Waves, with still only 1 out and a runner in scoring position.
This is David Shabu. Shabu, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. He also reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. Off of second is Moskey. A big lead out there. Now Aldretti will hold him on. Runner goes, pitch a called ball, throw to third from Duvall is in time. Nice tag from Tyler Green. 1-0 the count on Shabu. That is a great throw from Ty Duvall, and I'll tell you what, Stone, Moskey got a great jump too.
Moskey did have a great jump, and I thought he was going to steal that with ease. If that ball is thrown just a little bit up and forcing Green to grab it out of the air and throw it down, Moskey's in there safely. That's just in the best possible spot, and Moskey slides right into the tag. And now you can work on just focusing on Shabu and getting out of the inning.
Shabu looks at a fastball low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Lanier falls behind. We'll get you the final line on Jack Patterson. 2.1 innings pitched. Gave up 4 earned runs on 3 hits. He struck out 4. He did not walk a hitter. 2-0. Fastball called strike right on the inside black. 2-1. Lanier once again out of the stretch. Next pitch misses high. 3-1. The lights shine brightly here at the ballpark. They reflect off of the trees located in left field, left center field, and center field. 3-1. Fastball in there, strike 2. The count pushes full on Shabu. Thus far, though, for Ocean State in the frame, 5 runs scored on 5 hits, 2 of those being doubles. The payoff pitch on the way. This is upstairs for ball 4. So Shabu works a 2-out walk. Brings back up the top of the order in Liam MacArthur. He is the 9th hitter to step up to the plate.
And really, for the Waves coming into this inning, they had gone 3 straight innings up in order each time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually 4 straight innings dating back to the 4th. And then a runner retired in the 3rd as well. So it was 13 straight batters retired and have since batted around. Now they're to the top of the lineup.
Next pitch to MacArthur. That one's in there for strike 1. Liam MacArthur here tonight, 0 for 4. Leadoff man out of Seton Hall is in center field here tonight. Off of first is Shabu. He walked. He's being held on by Broat. About a 9-foot lead over there. 0-1. Fastball called strike 2. Once again, outside corner. Nice job by Lanier. Gets ahead of MacArthur.
This is also what's being broadcast right now.
Top 8, 2 away. Runner on first. 5-1 Ocean State. All 5 runs for the Waves scored in this inning. Lanier deals. Curveball check swing. Didn't MacArthur go? They say no, he did not. It is 1-2.
And MacArthur, though, back to the top of the lineup here in the 8th inning. And the Waves, a 5 spot's nice anywhere, but this late in the game puts the pressure on Newport down to their final 6 outs. And you know, the momentum going into this inning was Patterson riding hot, and Newport looked like they were going to shut out the Waves.
Long pause the mound from Lanier. 1-2. This one, soft pop-up. Third base side. Green under it, makes the call and the catch. And the inning is over. But for Ocean State, the Waves push across. 5 runs. They do it on 5 hits. Leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. The Gulls will try and answer back here in the bottom half of inning number 8. It's 5-1 Ocean State here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. I welcome you back into the ballpark here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Ocean State Waves take a 5-1 lead as we go to the bottom half of inning number 8. New pitcher on the mound for the Ocean State Waves. They're going to go to the right-hander out of the University of Rhode Island. It is Tyler Bars. And to tell you more about it, here's the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman.
Tyler Bars on the season so far, just coming in and making his second appearance on the year so far. Bars, though, was originally in the Cape League, was cut by the Bourne Braves, picked up by the Ocean State Waves here in the NECBL, and he's one of 4 different pitchers on the Ocean State roster, all from the University of Rhode Island, and native of New Boston, New Hampshire, 5'10", and 235 pounds. He comes in the 8th inning. The Waves 3 outs away in the 8th and 3 in the 9th for picking up the W.
Final line on Cam LaFleur, Ocean State's left-handed reliever, through a scoreless inning. Back in the 7th, struck out 3 batters, did not walk a hitter.
Really, for the Waves, though, it's their bullpen again. It's their bullpen coming in when the starter departs after giving up sometimes no runs, like last night for Tassos Stathopoulos and tonight for Ryan Stark, giving up a run, and the bullpen just comes in and might work themselves into some situations like we saw with J.C. Keys, but never giving up a run, it seems.
For Newport, hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up. Tyler Green, J.J. Blade, Bruce Steele to face Bars as he misses inside to Green there with a fastball. It is 1-0. Green here tonight, 1 for 3 with a single, a ground out, and a flyout. Whereas the orange and blue batting gloves steps into the right side. 1-0. Fastball, high chopper to short. Grabbed there by Shabu, and he can't handle it. Green reaches on the E6. Newport in business here with a runner on first. Brings up J.J. Blade, the right fielder from Vanderbilt. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk.
Yeah, we were saying last inning as the Waves were stockpiling runs, it seemed, with that 5 spot. You know, you can't count yourself out yet. Base runners are base runners. You're going to take them however they come. They reach on an error, but now you got a runner aboard to work with here with no outs in the 8th, trailing 4.
So Blade steps in from the left side. Next pitch from Bars. This one fouled off left side. 0-1. Bars ahead of Blade. It's a righty-lefty matchup. University of Rhode Island against Vanderbilt. Lights continue to shine here at the ballpark as Bars leans over the front side hip, gets the sign from Webb, sets the black glove. Letter high. 0-1. Backdoor curveball. Swung over and missed there by Blade. 0-2. It's a great pitch.
The Bars so far with URI started off as, you know, really just a reliever that the Rams would use when they want. He's worked his way into the starting, closing role past 2 seasons.
0-2 misses in the dirt. Now 1-2. Nice block from Webb. Green led off the frame, reaching on an error by the shortstop, Shabu. He's at first base, being held on by Wright. Bars out of the stretch once again. Long pause on the mound, 1-2. Fastball, strike 3 called on the outside black. Blade has struck out tonight for the 3rd time. First strikeout for Bars, and there's one away for Bruce Steele. He is 0 for 2.
Yeah, I think Bars, his windup and release is really what can fool guys. Is he doesn't look like he'd have velocity behind him, and not that he's touching 90 every time he's out there, but it's really just a quick forward step and brings the arm over and fires it in. And a lot of guys are thrown off by it. Doesn't really mix in too many off-speed pitches. Just a heavy fastball guy. That time gets Blade looking.
First pitch to Steele. This one bunted left side. Bare hand pickup by Bars. Throw to first. Just gets Steele by a half a step. What a play by Bars. To second base goes Tyler Green, but Bars with an unbelievable play there off the mound.
Yeah, I think that's a great call, though, by Al Leyva, though, third base coach and manager for these Gulls. He sees that both corner infielders are way back. You got a guy on the mound, 5'10", not really too much speed from Bars on the hill. Throws it and a good bunt put down, but Bars just shuffles over to his bare hand side, throws it, and just in time to get the out. Runner advances to second, but 2 down here in the 8th.
This is Ty Duvall. Steps into the left side. He's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts to second base. Off of second is Tyler Green. He reached on an error. Bars out of the stretch, the pitch. Curveball. Strike called outside corner, 0-1. Thus far for Ocean State, 5 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. For Newport, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. All 5 of Ocean State's runs were scored in the top half of inning number 8. Bars gets the sign from Webb. Works out of the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, nice block by Webb, 1-1.
Really for Bars, though, you know, you got to think, too, the Waves, they get this long stretch of games. Starting tomorrow, they're going to play 5 more games over the next 5 days. They're already 4 deep after this game on this 9-game stretch, and trying to conserve some arms so later on, when the off days start to become even more rare, you can use them. Bars will probably come out for the 9th if he gets through here.
1-1. Just misses below the knees. A hard fastball there from Bars. And Stone, kind of a similar delivery that we've seen earlier on in this game from Keys.
Oh, sure.
Bars straight over the top there with that delivery.
Yeah, really no messing around. And there's this big conversation, especially in pro ball now, about arm slots. And for a guy like Bars, it seems like he has no problems with that.
2-1, two-seam fastball misses outside. 3-1, Bars falls behind Duval.
Yeah, but there are guys that, you know, when they throw a curveball, it's so blatantly obvious, it seems, that their arm is coming just from a different location. With Bars, we saw it with Keys. These guys don't use too many off-speed pitches, but when they do, it looks the same as a fastball.
Next pitch swung on a miss there by Duval. The count pushes full 3-2 on the Vanderbilt catcher. Newport just trying to win each pitch past the bat. Off of second is Green. Bars and Webb agree on the sign. And the payoff pitch on the way. Curveball, nice job by Duval. He works the walk as he takes the inside pitch. So Duval aboard here. Puts runners on first and second. Here's Cade Cabanis. He has been excellent tonight. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI triple. That scored Bruce Steele. That was the lone run of the ball game back in the second. He's also been hit by a pitch and has walked. So he is 3 for 3 on base in that number 8 spot. And if Cabanis can get aboard here, well, you set up the tying run at the plate with Carter Aldretti, who awaits on deck. So here's Cabanis.
Situational hitting again. You know, don't try to do too much with it. You're still down 4, but you're right. The tying run comes in the on-deck circle. 2 outs don't matter.
First pitch to Cabanis is a strike that is called on the inside corner. 0-1.
I shouldn't say 2 outs don't matter, but you can push a lot around with 2 outs. And in a league like this NECBL league where players come around and come through in the clutch, it seems like almost every night. I mean, 1-0 game going into the 8th, you wouldn't have the Waves putting up a 5 spot. And they do. It's manageable. It's doable.
0-1 curveball, strike 2, called on the outside corner. So Bars works inside, then goes back outside on that plate. And it's 0-2 on Cabanis. Bars leans over the front hip, gets the sign from Webb. Cabanis calls time and steps out of the box. Tyler Green led off the inning. He reached on an error. J.J. Blade struck out. Bruce Steele grounded out. Ty Duval walked. That sets the scene for Cabanis. Swings the all-orange bat from the left side. The black and orange ankle guard on the front side foot. Stands tall from the left side. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on swings goes Cade Cabanis. Second strikeout of the night for Bars. For Newport, no runs on no hits. They leave 2 aboard with 1 Ocean State error. We will go to the top half of the 9th inning. Ocean State out in front of Newport, 5-1 right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls as we go to the top half of inning number 9. They will go to the right-hander out of Brown University. It is Reed Anderson. And Anderson enters with a 6.75 ERA. He is 1-1. This will be his 3rd appearance, first out of the bullpen, so he's made 2 starts. Anderson thus far has thrown 5.1 innings, has given up 4 earned runs on 7 hits. He has walked 2 and he has 5 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .280 against him, and well, Stone, for Ocean State right now, of course you want to extend this lead, but this Waves offense, most importantly, seems to be finding a rhythm.
Well, and I think that's the key. And, you talk about good teams from great teams, and in my opinion, at least, it's coming through at the right moments. I mean, players don't get remembered by, what they struck out with 2 outs, obviously not. It's what happens after that. And the Waves as a team, they rallied together in that 8th inning and score 5 runs. That's big. This is a big rally cry going forward, I think. And once again, you look back to those 2 losses at Mystic, and you kind of scratch your head and say, are we going to let this be the mojo going forward? Is this going to really be what we're known for? And a big win last night, 14-1, and now the come from behind game here today. And of course, it's not over. You still get 3 more outs to get, and it's a big 3 outs. And if you're Newport, once again, you're on the the losing side of this thing. But I think it's learning, and it's something you could take away and say no lead is safe. And the offense really, those 20 runs they put up at Upper Valley the last time out, could have used a couple here tonight.
Hitters 2, 3, and 4 due up for Ocean State. Bobby Honeyman, Randall Canamaro, Matt Kogan. As Honeyman steps in and looks at a fastball off the outside corner for ball 1. Next pitch from Anderson, hard fastball. This one lifted in the air down the left field line, slicing foul. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Here tonight, Honeyman is 1 for 3. A single, a couple strikeouts. He was also hit by a pitch and scored back in the 8th. Honeyman actually started that 8th inning rally for Ocean State. Final line on Sam Lanier for Newport, right-hander from East Carolina. Through 2/3 of an inning. Allowed 1 earned run on 2 hits. He walked 1, did not strike anyone out. So Anderson here on the mound here in the top half of the 9th. Ocean State leads 5-1. No outs and the base is empty here for Honeyman. He bats from the left side. 1-1 fastball taken up and inside. 2-1.
Yeah, Bobby seen a lot of pitches, and he's found this really comfortable zone here, batting in the 2 spot. He was the 3rd baseman to start the year, has moved playing 2nd, doing an excellent job there. And he's just finding a home.
2-1 fastball catches the outside corner. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Newport will take on the New Bedford Bay Sox on the road tomorrow at 6:30. 2-2 lifted in the air, foul left side. Ocean State will host Winnipesaukee tomorrow at 6:30 at Old Mountain Field.
Waves going to start a home and home. They'll be on the road on Friday night at Winnipesaukee, a long road trip up there, but finish off the home and home. The only 2 times they'll play them this season. So get a good look at an NECBL North opponent. And they've been good so far to the Waves 2-0 against that division this year. They'll be back at home on Saturday as well. But once again, I was talking to you off air about this, Darren. It's the first stretch of games where the Waves play for longer than a week straight. Play on 8 consecutive nights, 9 games in that stretch. And if they do pick up this victory over Newport, they'll be 2-2 on that stretch so far and riding hot into the Winnipesaukee home and home.
Anderson winds and fires the break-even pitch. This one lined into the glove of the shortstop steal, 1 away. Nice play by Bruce Steele. Well struck ball there from Honeyman, and there's 1 down.
That's a great hit, though, in terms of getting the bat on the ball from Honeyman. Really, from our perspective here behind home plate, that's tailing right into the glove of the shortstop, but some good contact at it. And, really, if you had a guy on base, situational hitting, trying a hit and run, that's going to bring that shortstop over to come into second base, and that's a beautiful base hit. But right place, right time, and a good routine play for Steele puts 1 down in the 9th.
Well, this is Randall Canamaro. Canamaro here tonight, 2 for 3. He's been excellent. 3 for 4 on base. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Single, doubled. He's also scored a run. Swings and misses at the first pitch there from Anderson. It is 0-1. Newport will be back at home here on Friday night to host the Vermont Mountaineers on Eckerd College reunion night. 250 free Gulls t-shirts will be given out courtesy of Brick Alley Pub. 0-1. Fastball, strike 2 on the outside corner. So Anderson doing a nice job getting ahead here. Throwing the hard fastball. He winds and delivers. Curveball check swing. Canamaro did not go around. It is 1-2. Thus far for Ocean State, 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. For Newport, 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Anderson holds the glove in front of his face. He winds and deals. Curveball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Excellent pitch from Anderson. 2 away.
Yeah, Canamaro fooled on that one. Off-speed pitch outside in the zone. Cuts through it. 2 outs here in the 9th. Kogan up now, and the Gulls just trying to get into the bottom of the 9th. Do their best to get some base runners on.
Matt Kogan, the right fielder from Belmont, steps in. He's 0 for 3. A fly out, a ground out. He also reached on a fielder's choice. Had a huge sac bunt in the 8th. Anderson deals the first pitch, fastball in the dirt. It's 1-0. Stone, when I look back at that 8th inning, that, of course you see lots of hits, right?
Sure.
But that bunt, that was enormous.
Oh, sure. The one that, once again, it's a sacrifice. You sacrifice the out to move both base runners over with your number 4 man, Kogan, up, who is the cleanup guy, and you wouldn't expect that.
1 out, grounded to second, picked on the long hop there on the backhand by Aldretti. He will throw out Kogan, and the inning is over. It's a perfect frame from Reed Anderson. He sets down the Ocean State Waves 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom half of inning number 9 with your score. Ocean State 5, the Newport Gulls 1 here on Salve Regina night. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We go to the bottom half of inning number 9. It is a 5-1 lead for the Ocean State Waves. New pitcher on the mound for the Waves. They will go to the right-hander, and Aaron Pinto, 6 foot, 190 pounds, out of Stony Brook University. We will see what Pinto can do, and to tell you more about him, here is Stone Freeman.
Yeah, Pinto on the season has really become the Waves' unofficial closer. Right now, obviously not a close situation, but Pinto has found himself on the mound. It's a pretty close game. He did have an appearance here in Newport earlier this season, and it was a close situation. He got the win as well. He went 1 inning against Newport on the 21st of June, giving up 3 strikeouts, no hits, and a couple guys reached on errors, but got the save and the win in that one. On the season, though, so far, he's 1-0, no ERA yet in 5 games, making his 6th appearance. 2 saves, 5.1 innings pitched. He struck out 9 to just 2 walks and has only given up 1 hit. So Pinto on, and this is the 5th arm used tonight, 4th out of the bullpen, and he's looking to join this group of Waves that has struck out so far tonight 10 batters.
Liam O'Regan will pinch hit for Carter Aldretti. He is hitting 143 on the season. He is 5 for 35 with 9 runs scored. Before we get things going, here's a look around the NECBL scoreboard from Gulls field reporter Dave Peck.
We got 4 final scores that have come in around the league. New Bedford ousts the Winnipesaukee Muskrats 11-6. Danbury Westerners take it against the Pilgrims 9-3. Final score there. Upper Valley Nighthawks beating the Sanford Mainers 12-2, and the Mystic Schooners 8-3 over the Steeplecats. Still 9-7. Keene Swampats ahead of the Valley Blue Sox on the top of the 9th, and it's a 5-1 ball game with the Waves advantage in the bottom of the 9th here at Cardines Field.
Thanks so much, Dave. Liam O'Regan steps in, takes a first pitch in the dirt for ball 1 out of Elon University. The 1-0 from Pinto there. Gets the call on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike on O'Regan. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 due up in the Newport lineup. O'Regan, Meisner, and Dashbach. 5-1 Ocean State here, bottom 9. Next pitch, a hard fastball in there at the knees on the outside corner, 1 and 2. Ocean State with all 5 of those runs back in the 8th inning. Pinto winds and delivers. 1-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes O'Regan. First strikeout for Pinto. Brings back up the top of the order in Cameron Meisner. He is 1 for 3 with a single, a ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. We'll also get you the final line on Ocean State's reliever. Tyler Bars out of the University of Rhode Island threw a scoreless 8th inning. Struck out 2 and walked 1.
Now with that strikeout from Pinto, 5 for Stark, 3 for LaFleur, 2 for Bars, 11 strikeouts from Ocean State pitching tonight. This pitching staff continues to impress.
Cameron Meisner steps in, looks at a fastball low for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Another fastball in there. This one for strike 1 there on the outside corner, 1 and 1.
Pinto kind of deceiving on his fastball. It's not exactly a tall, lanky right-hander. Only stands at 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, but he can pound the zone.
Holds the tan glove, letter high, winds and fires the 1-1. Very close pitch on the inside corner. Just misses off that inner black. 2-1 on Cameron Meisner.
And that pitch he had given so much, he completely fell off the top of the hill. Coming forward on his front foot. Too much momentum. He falls over towards the first base side of the mound.
2-1 fastball in the dirt, 3-1. Not a save situation for Pinto. But he does enter here in the 9th inning on the mound. Already has struck out Liam O'Regan. 1 away, bottom 9, bases empty, 5-1 Ocean State. Next pitch, sky in the air down the left field line, slicing away from Mosky, long run, and it will bounce down and foul ground. 3-2 on Cameron Meisner. The count pushes full.
And Mosky had given all he could to that one. As you get over near that bullpen at this stage in the game, it's not worth, diving, sprawling out, risking an injury. Up 5-1, but Mosky, we talked about him earlier. He's got great speed out there in left field. Chased that ball down, and just did all he could on it.
So we'll see what Pinto decides to go with here. With the payoff pitch to Meisner, who bounced from the left side. The Bentonese, the open stance, swings the all-black bat. Holds the hands about letter high. Payoff pitch, fastball, just misses outside for ball 4. Great at bat from Cameron Meisner. It's his second walk tonight, 3rd time on base. He is now 3 for 5 on base out of the Newport leadoff spot. And here's Andrew Dashbach, the designated hitter from Stanford. He is 1 for 3 with a walk.
Yeah, right now, once again, it's about getting a guy on base and just see what can happen. Push him around a little bit. The Waves will be a lot less lenient, I'm sure, in terms of trying to throw him out, as Chris Wright is not even going to hold him on at first base. So try to take a bag or two and just work around. Try to make this as close as you can.
Dashbach takes a pitch low and away for ball 1. Dashbach here tonight flew out to right field in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and struck out in the 7th. Pinto leans over the front hip, gets the sign from Webb, sets the tan glove. Letter high. The 1-0. Fastball misses downstairs, and faking the back pick to first was Webb. He will talk with Pinto on the mound.
Yeah, Wright wasn't even back at first base to try to check over, and Meisner, who was well off. Meisner had seen that Wright wasn't playing and holding him on, and he had done what we had seen earlier in the stolen base from him. When Stark was on the mound, he kind of crept behind the back of the right-hander, trying to get as far down the baseline as he could. And Webb came up ready to throw, but nobody home.
Andrew Dashbach steps back in from the right side. 2-0 from Pinto. Fastball in there at the knees, 2-1. Meisner walked. He is aboard at first. Like Stone mentioned, Wright not holding him on. 2-1 from Pinto. Meisner goes. This one grounded up the middle. Glove there by Honeyman. Steps on second for 1. The relay to first is in time. It's a 4 unassisted double play, and that is the ball game. The Ocean State Waves win this one by a final score of 5-1. With the win, Ocean State improves to 12-3. Newport falls to 5-12. As the Waves are 3-0 here in the 6-game regular season Pell Bridge Series. The Newport Gulls postgame show is up next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here on the Newport Gulls post-game show. The final score here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. Ocean State victorious by a final score of 5-1. It was really a pitcher's duel throughout this entire contest, or at least up until the 8th inning, where Ocean State pushed across 5 runs, and they did it on just 5 hits as well. For Ocean State, 5 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. For Newport, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. Ocean State, like we said, improves to 12-3. Newport falls to 5-12. And Stone, when you look at this ball game, well, like we talked about, a pitcher's duel, but Ocean State, when you look at the box score, deserved to win this game, out hitting Newport 8-3. And in that 8th inning, that was really the difference.
Yeah, the 8th inning is the difference maker in terms of the scoreboard and whatnot. But for the Waves, I think this is just a confidence win. And to put up those 5 runs in the 8th inning, it speaks volumes to hopefully what the Waves will be able to do down the stretch here. And I think if you're Newport, you look back at that 8th inning and really are scratching your heads, and it just slips right through your fingers, it seems. And we talked about the Kogan bunt that had moved 2 base runners over. You sacrifice an out as your number 4 hitter. Both those men come in to score, and 2 more plus on top of it. So if you're the Waves, you're happy with that 8th inning performance. And if you're Newport, you can't let it beat you down too much, but it is a game that, when you sit at 5-12 and you look back at a game that you really could win and take away, steal a win from the top team in the league, it hurts. And at least for the Waves, though, going forward, they got 3-0 against this Newport club. We'll meet 3 more times, but you got to be happy if you're a Waves fan now. 2 wins after losing 2 on the road at Mystic. It's sitting pretty good.
Absolutely. Pacing Ocean State's offense in this contest, it was Randall Canamaro. He went 2 for 4 with a run scored. Also, Alex Webb went 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. For Newport, the 3 hits in the game came from Cameron Meisner. He was 1 for 3. Tyler Green, he was 1 for 4. Cade Cabanis, he was 1 for 2 with that RBI triple back in inning number 2 to give Newport that 1-0 lead. Newport will be back in action tomorrow night when they travel up to New Bedford, Massachusetts to take on the Bay Sox at 6:30. Ocean State will be back in action also tomorrow night to host the Winnipesaukee Muskrats at 6:30 p.m. Stone, any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm excited to play you guys a couple more times. I love coming out to Cardines Field, always a great time. And I think, though, going forward, like I said, Newport, it has its history, though, and something tells me that this team is a little bit better than the performances that are going on the field. And with that being said, who knows, maybe it's the month of July that comes around and kind of turns everything in the right direction, to kind of start things off on a new leaf. But really for Newport, they had a great pitching performance from their starter today, and going forward, we'll see what happens. But for the Waves, you got to be happy with where you're going.
Stone, always a pleasure working with you. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Same to you, Darren.
For Stone Freeman, the voice of the Ocean State Waves, I am Darren Zaslow. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls postgame show continues next, hosted by Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxout and Gulls field reporter Dave Peck.
Thank you, Darren. A tough one to swallow here at Cardines Field as the Gulls fall to the Waves. Final score 5-1. The Gulls fall to 5-12 on the year, and really just a tough game. Really a tale of 2 games for the Waves and a tale of 1 frustrating outing for the Gulls. They scraped 1 run across in the 2nd inning, and it looked like that might be enough, but in baseball it never is, and you can never get complacent when you only have that slim of a lead. And you saw in the 8th inning, really the doors kind of bust open for the Waves as they pushed 5 across in the game. And you saw early on in the 2nd and 3rd innings, the Waves had their opportunities, so it's not like this came out of nowhere, Ben. And, the Gulls were fortunate enough to get out of it. They got a lot of ground balls from fellows that they were able to make plays at home plate to kind of keep the Waves off the scoreboard. But eventually you get a lot of runners on, and you're going to get that bloop double down the right field line. You're going to get the sacrifice bunt. You're going to get a wild pitch, and you're going to get a 5-1 win, and that's kind of what happened today for the Waves.
Tonight was almost like a carbon copy of that first game against the Waves 1 week ago. Gulls were, in my opinion, the better team through the first 7 innings. And then the wheels fell off, and it started in the 8th inning with a hit batter. And then there was a wild pitch, and it just little bloop hits, little weird things, and it all just snowballed and resulted in, unfortunately, another loss for the Gulls. I mean, it's frustrating because they looked like world beaters Monday night, but losing the way they did tonight to a team that is obviously great, but I'm sure they feel the same way. They looked like the better team through a good duration of this game, and that's what's frustrating about it. So to lose the way they did is not fun. Hopefully, though, losing builds character. And these kinds of losses, hopefully they can learn from them and see what they need to do. It's just the last couple innings, they know that they can beat this team. They've had them on the ropes, but it's just small little things that they need to work on.
Certainly finding ways to lose games. Hopefully they can turn that around and pick up some more wins in the latter 2/3 of the season. I look at this game and I see hanging on to a 1-0 lead and kind of getting complacent at the plate. Not that they were wasting at bats. You saw a lot of hard competitive at-bats, but you just begin to think that the one-run lead kind of got to them, and if they were able to get a little more insurance, maybe that 5-run inning would not have happened. We're going to send it down field side. Darren Zaslow has the player of the game down. Darren, we're going to send it on down to you.
Welcome back here on the Newport Gulls post-game show as the Gulls fall to the Ocean State Waves here in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series by a final score of 5-1. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls player of the game, Drake Fellows, the right-handed pitcher. Started tonight's contest out of Vanderbilt, making his Newport Gulls debut. He worked 5 innings, did not give up any runs, also had 6 strikeouts. Drake, how'd you feel on the mound in your debut here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty good. All 3 pitches were working for me tonight. Felt good to get back out there since the loss we had at Vanderbilt, but everything was working good for me tonight.
Talk to me about, your experience so far. Obviously, numerous Vanderbilt teammates here on the Gulls, Ty Duvall, Tyler Green, just to name a few, J.J. Blade as well. What's it like playing with them?
Oh, it's always a fun time playing with the teammates. I mean, J.J. Blade is my roommate whole year. We were roommates here, too. It's always a blast. We're having fun, just going out there every day playing baseball. Certainly a very close game, a pitcher's duel tonight. When you get that type of pitcher's duel vibe, does that add any extra pressure to you on the mound? It adds pressure, but I just try to go out there and stay relaxed, and hopefully my teammates come through for me and when they're hitting. And I just stay out there and focus, doing my thing, not worrying about anything else. Well, Drake, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck. Newport falls to Ocean State here tonight by a final score of 5-1. The Gulls postgame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Thank you, Darren. Again, your final score from Cardines Field: Newport 1, Ocean State 5. Next time the Gulls will be in action is tomorrow when they head to New Bedford to try and take on the Bay Sox and get a win, even up the series at 2 apiece. And we'll be back home here on Wednesday when they take on the North Adams Steeplecats, a team from the Northern Division that they will see a couple more times this year. Darren Zaslow downfield side to wrap things up.
Welcome back here to field level at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport falls to Ocean State in Game 3 of the Pell Bridge Series by a final score of 5-1. The Gulls were out-hit by the Waves in the game 8-3. Newport falls to 5-12 overall. Ocean State improves to 12-3. The Gulls will be back in action tomorrow night when they travel up to New Bedford to take on the Bay Sox at 6:30 p.m. But before we say goodbye, we'd like to thank everyone who played a role in tonight's broadcast. Tom Lima is our executive producer and director. Shannon Carlson is our producer. The associate producer is Shannon O'Connell. The audio tech is Sam Salinger. Our on-site engineer here tonight, Maddie Peters. Our social media coordinator, Meredith Pepis. The field reporter tonight was Dave Peck, and our statistician is Ben Maxout. For the voice of the Ocean State Waves, Stone Freeman, I am Darren Zaslow saying so long from the city by the sea.